crazy this weather we're having?
Yes, I was blown away. It was, I knew it was going to be a rainy day yesterday, but I didn't know it was going to be all day yesterday. Didn't realize it was going to be, rock slides and flooding down in Pagu, and Cessnas falling out of the sky and all of that. It was kind of biblical. I did want to give you. I've got Senator Sabrina Salas Montanani on line two, and I want to get to her and see what she can tell me about a so-called emergency meeting that took place over at GMH yesterday. But can you give me your summary on the results of the primary election? What's your takeaway there, Si?
Well, I think the first lament is, again, the lower turnout, which I think will lead to another discussion after the elections about, why the public pays for two political parties to narrow 36 people down to 30, right? And maybe and we limit the way independents can participate. That maybe we need to all talk about that. But the turnout was there. It's going to be quite a race between former Speaker Therese Terlahi and Sabina and Tony Atta and EJ. I think it'll be very close and very competitive. And the people will have to make a decision, because I think their approaches to governance are very, very different, very Republican versus very Democrat, in some stark contrast, which it'll be interesting to see how the public feels about which way they wish to lean in terms of governance, right? And especially when there's a lot of money available, and yet the economy is struggling still, at least if you're not in federal spending. But I think, and on the legislative side, when you look, with the used-to-bes that ran again and are now going to be in the general election, I think the majority's up for grabs. It looks like, and I think you summed it up well. You really look at the top 8 or 9, and 15 are going to come out of those 18, and it could go that 15th slot. We might not be up till 8 in the morning, but we'll be watching that till 3 in the morning as the counts come in so much quicker now as to who gets what. I mean, there's been elections that were decided by 6 votes, 3 votes, and that can swing the majority.
Well, look at the bottom end. Look at the bottom end of the Republicans. The turnout on the Republicans. The difference between Joe Ariola and Alexander Duenas is only a dozen votes.
Yeah, there's that. And then I think you observed another thing, because you watch it for so many years. People say, wow, look at the Democratic vote total, look at the Republican vote total on the senatorial side, but you can only vote on one side, right? So you got Democrats that are going to vote for Republicans, and you got Republicans that are going to vote for Democrats. That's why I agree with your assessment that look at the top 8 on both sides, 8 or 9. Those 16 to 18 have the best chance of getting in. I think the top 10, the top 5 or 6 on both sides are probably automatically in, and I'm guessing they're probably all incumbents or former incumbents, to which I all say my condolences. You're going to get elected, and you're going to have to deal with all these problems again.
Yes, call into the Ray Gibson Show ad infinitum. So I appreciate your time. I'd love to hear the rest of the story, and some of that we ought to do over a couple of beers, and some of it we ought to do on the radio, because I think there's still a whole lot more to talk about in the next 90 days or so between here and the general election. But I got to run. Like I said, I got Sabrina Salas on the other line. Never keep a woman waiting.
Amen. Especially a tomorrow woman, and she's far more important dealing with that hospital. So, all right, and wish her condolences, because she's probably going to get reelected and still will have to work. The problems with the hospital will still be there in January.
It sure looks like that. I don't know. I'll break away now. Hugging a kiss to Auntie Lou. I'm sending lots of prayers. Sabrina Salas Montanani. Good morning, Senator. How you doing?
Today. Good morning, Ray.
So
Donna.
Congratulations. I haven't had a chance to congratulations you yet.
Oh, thank you, Ray. We still have one more election
Who could it be now?
But really, I'm just honored and thankful and appreciative to everyone that voted in the primary election, and hope to have continued support and more as we head into the general.
You can breathe now, says Real Joe.
He is starting to learn the language.
He's hooked on the lingo now. I was telling a story on the radio yesterday before we get to GMH. I was telling a story on the radio yesterday about where you and I were just over 29 years ago. I was racing to the radio station, and you were racing to Guam Cable TV, so that you could go and jump in a 4-wheel drive and grab an old MTX 800 radio and do what I believe were the first live radio broadcasts from the crash of the Korean Airlines flight.
Yes, and I actually went to the memorial ceremony, and I was telling my chief of staff the things that I had seen, driving in, and how we were. Once we got there, we waited and we got in the back of a truck, and I think it was the military that was driving, and just heading in. What we saw were some of the bodies that were piled up, and when we got to the scene, it was just the fire, the smoke, and you just saw, humanity, people hurrying to rescue as many lives as possible, but also
yesterday. That must have been spectacular.
Yeah, and I know.
Yesterday, that must have been spectacular.
Yeah, and I reached out. Actually, she was the one who invited me to come, and I know that she had lost her brother, and so I wanted to be there, not just to reflect, but also to help support her.
Bree, it's always nice to sit and reminisce and think about those times in our careers. And you are at a new place in a new career as a politician and dealing with one of the hottest corners of hot corners that we've got in the government of Guam, and that is Guam Memorial Hospital. There was a document that was floating around. I got my hands on it yesterday that was telling about a emergency meeting taking place at Guam Memorial Hospital yesterday, but it didn't necessarily say what it was all about. There was apparently a meeting and certain people in attendance. I don't think Jolene is in town. I think Mr. Kenga was conducting the meeting in her place, but that's all I know about it. Were you brought into the conversation in the fold at any time yesterday?
No, I was not. But after I saw the article in the PDN regarding this emergency meeting, I did make a phone call to GMH to find out what exactly is going on, because usually we're in constant contact. They're very transparent and open with me with all the happenings over at GMH. And so when I had called, they told me that it really was a timing issue because board members were leaving island and they had to take care of some urgent issues that, I'm not privy to discuss because it was, they discussed it in the executive session. But I was concerned whether or not there was a lawsuit being filed against the hospital, and there isn't. But it really was just something that they had to act on because some of the board members were leaving. And so that's what I understood. And then when they meet on the 18th, the public will be able to will know what exactly is happening. But again, it has nothing to do with any lawsuit or legal action being taken against GMH.
Okay, but that's just one of a couple of possible crisis points that they might be having, up to and including. Is there an issue with the electrical panel that has finally gotten to a point where it can't be ignored and action is required?
No. That's not what was relayed to me. It has nothing to do with the electrical panel. There were some issues at not necessarily at GMH, but another GMH facility that had to be addressed, but nothing to do with the electrical panels or anything like that.
What about CMS? That was CMS, another set of initials that popped out yesterday. Are we in trouble with Medicaid?
But I didn't hear Medicaid or Medicare, but it could be CMS, yes. But I could confirm or deny that. That's something that you can ask GMH about, because it was.
I was supposed to. I was told by John Ryan, because I reached out to the to Adeloop first because I thought maybe they knew something about it, and John's response back to me, and he was very helpful, but he says you ought to get something in your inbox from Guam Memorial Hospital at some. I did not get anything from them identifying what the nature of the meeting was about. I was told that one of the guys that was in attendance at the meeting was one of the key CMS guys at Guam Memorial Hospital, and that there's a whole lot that rides on compliance and our fitting in with the CMS standards, as you know.
As I understand it is related to a compliance issue, but not rising to the level of any lawsuit or legal action being taken against GMH.
Okay, well, I'm trying to sort out, and I get that there are things that we can and things that we cannot talk about, and it's possible that there's a lawyer that's dialing a phone right about now, telling us, but without CMS, and if there is an issue with CMS, does that generally mean that there could be issues then with GMH getting compensated for taking care of patients who use the Medicare and the Medicaid?
And again, that's not what was relayed to me. And the details, from what I've been told, will be released on August 18th. I wasn't told like specific details that Medicare was threatened or Medicaid.
Mm-hmm.
I was not told that, and I hope that is not the case.
Me too. That makes the problems. They're not going to be able to finish the parking lot there.
Well, I don't know about that. They're going to finish that parking lot.
You know where my head is most of the time. I'm always looking for a little bit of a humorous cloud, but this one here could be very deleterious to the work that's being done over at Guam Memorial Hospital, and could actually be one of those
potential threats to any federal funding or any issues like that with the hospital. If it turns out to be the case later on August 18th when they meet, then of course I'm going to have to. I'm going to be furious.
Yes.
But that was not what was relayed to me when I spoke with them yesterday.
Okay, so still the shroud of
it was more of a timing issue that they needed to meet and settle whatever issues had to come up, because some board members were leaving island. And so they met, they did what they had to do, and we'll meet on August 18th. And of course, I understand everybody's concerns. I would be concerned too. I would be in the media. I would be asking those sorts of questions. But this is what was told to me, and they left me assured.
I'm disappointed in the lack of transparency. Not you to me, but them to you. You're the oversight chair of medicine at the legislature, and there's nothing that goes on at Guam Memorial Hospital that should be hidden from you.
And they have been transparent. There are things that were discussed in their executive session, but what they relayed to me again, Ray, they assured me that it has nothing to do with any legal action that's going to be filed against the hospital. There were some issues that needed to be addressed urgently and immediately because board members were leaving island, and details of what transpired will be released at the August 18th meeting.
Okay, but for patients, for individuals that are concerned, there are no issues surrounding patient safety?
No.
All right. Well, I guess we'll find out. Real Joe, make a note of it. Call me back on the 19th.
I'll be back and I'll let you know.
Yes. In the meantime, again, congratulations.
People can actually attend the board meeting. They can. There's a Zoom link that they provide on the agenda that people can watch.
I think the agenda that I had only said something about it, the emergency nature of the meeting. I can look at it again, but it seemed to me that one was just kind of perfunctory. Like, look, we have to have a meeting, and this is when it's going to be. But it didn't actually say what it was going to talk about. But I don't know that that's one of those violation of the Open Government Act or anything like that. It's some I'll leave to the open government experts to look that up. Bree, appreciate your time. You're 7:35. Have a fantastic day.
Thanks, Ray.
All right, and again, congratulations to you. 888-8255-888-TALK. So what do we glean? Yes, something about the CMS and a portion of the facility, a Guam Memorial Hospital-related facility, and there's no issues with regard to patient safety. We'll learn more in a few days.
I forgot to ask her about the parking lot, Ray. If they opened it yet.
They
cut the ribbon.
No, I don't think so.
Who's the first person to park there? Josh? You're going to let Josh park there first?
I'll bet you. I wonder if there's a spot in there, the very front for the governor. The governor,
yes.
Like they used to do at the hotels.
Yes.
And
dignitaries.
Like the Hilton. The Hilton was one of the first hotels on Guam. They did that. There was a section of the parking lot that they dedicated like to the admiral and to the governor and stuff. And I'd sit around there. If I knew the governor was gone, on
Off
one of
island.
the trips. Yeah, guess what? I'm parking right there in the front. Anyway, 7:36 in the morning. Donna D with a look at news and headlines on the Ray Gibson Show. This being brought to you by the guys over at Burger King. What kind of guys are they? The kind that want your vote here when it comes time for Pika's Best. We'll get you the categories that they want to win in a little bit later on. But if you don't vote, then go and definitely check out the incredible chicken salad sandwich that they've got over there at the BK Place. News also being brought to you by Hoffaday Realty. Buying, selling. Maybe you just need somebody to manage the property for you. They might be able to do that over at Hoffaday Realty. Find out. Send them an email. HoffadayRealty@gmail.com. Now, with the news and headlines at 7:37, here's Donna D. What do you got on your list? What do people need to know?
GPD is investigating a two-car crash that occurred at the intersection of Route 10 and 15 near Price Elementary School in Manila. The collision was reported at around 7:15 Wednesday morning. Medical personnel treated a man at the scene for non-fatal injuries. Following the collision, authorities have not yet released additional information regarding the cause of the accident. Meanwhile, the special session on the governor's $42.4 million spending bill was recessed yesterday until 8:30 this morning due to scheduling conflicts. Committee Chair Senator Chris Dueñas expects lawmakers to finish debating the measure, which includes $13.4 million for Typhoon Bavi, $11.4 million for childcare, and $17.7 million for the airport by this evening or Monday. And tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Senator Jesse Lujan will present resolutions 202 and 206 at the Micronesia Mall Center Court. The event honors Philippine Airlines for its 80th Guam flight anniversary and recognizes Micronesia Mall and Goodwin Development Corporation on their 38th anniversary during a community fair from noon to 3 o'clock. And those are your local headlines. Back to Ray.
All right, community fairs are fun, and Guam Sesame Street, just get in that area. I'm sure that there's going to be the gravity of a street and a swap meet fair going on. The event will support local businesses and helps fund teacher scholarships. So there's the good news there. 7:38 on the Ray Gibson Show. Just an update, if I can, on our systems here this morning. I've reset the computer that does the encoding, and it doesn't seem to be that. I think it might have something to do with a little bit of a network connection. And it's not something that I'm willing to play around with while I'm on the air. It will distract me, and I won't enjoy the remainder of the program. So, unfortunately, the visual feeds are going to be in and out until I can do a couple of more resets on the IT side of the building. And do me a favor, if you can deal with the stuttering and the in and out and stop and go, then great. Otherwise, just listen to us on the radio. And for those of you that are off island that can't make a day without me, I understand. I don't like going without me either. Then what you want to do is go and get the actual feed. What is it? The app. You can listen to us on the app. If you don't have the app, go to wherever it is that apps are sold on the internet and download a copy of 93.3 The Point streaming app. You can find that on the Android store. You can find that on the Apple store. Or just go to thepoint.gu on the World Wide Web where it says listen live. You should be able to listen live on that. Now, it's also possible that you should be able to watch us on thepoint.gu. I'm going to check that out because that's kind of an independent stream. So there's a possibility. But it's not like you can, socialize with Jerome McDonald and Sarita and Tattoo Shauna and all of that. So just deal with this. We should have this taken care of by the end of the day. 20 away from 8 o'clock in the morning. Got Robert Koss on the way. A quick look at traffic after these.
APL, global presence with a local home. APL is a U.S. flag shipping company, delivering from the U.S., Asia, and Europe with weekly arrivals to Guam and Saipan. Our local Guam team is committed to serving all your logistical needs. Call us at 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
19 away from the top of the hour. Portions of the broadcast made possible by Take Care. On the traffic, let me see if I can find a map here that will show me where all of the cars are at this time. There was earlier in the day a pretty bad accident up around Finnegodson. It looks like that they've got that all taken care of, and the roads are open. As usual, a little bit of traffic at Ipao leading up to Yiseng Song. Nothing after that until you get by, the flea market, and then a little bit of traffic on Route 3 trying to get to Marine Corps Drive. Micronesia Mall intersection running clear all the way down to 8, 10, and 16. The usual spots are going to be busy with the panhandlers over by the Mickey D's. Otherwise, if you're going southbound on Marine Corps Drive, that's looking pretty good as well. Nothing major through there, just a lot of intersection traffic. Usual intersection traffic around Tamuning at Kmart, Village of Donkey, right in front of the Guam International Airport, ITC building, as usual. But once you are out past the Horse and Cow, you should be good all the way into the downtown Agutnia area. Central Lanes, Route 8 running clear. Route 4 clear right up until you get to around Ordot, and then into Sinahanya, and then down the hill, down into the Agutnia parts. As usual, we got to fight for the merge until we get past Costules, and then maybe there's a little bit more traffic at the weird light that they've got by the courthouse and the Bang of Guam. And the only other traffic that I'm looking at right now is a little bit of traffic in front of about where Bang of Guam is in Manila on Route 10. Nothing major on Marine Corps Drive. The usual slowdown around the port area, the cemetery in Petey, and Naval Base Guam. That's it. 7:42 on the Ray Gibson Show. Be right back.
Sherry Mendiola here from Security Title. Thinking about skipping title insurance to save money? It might seem like a small shortcut, but it can lead to big problems later. Hidden liens, ownership disputes, or even fraud can surface after you purchase your home, putting your investment at risk. Without title insurance, you could be responsible for costly legal fees or even lose your property. Title insurance protects your ownership and gives you peace of mind from day one. Don't take the risk. Call the professionals at Security Title. We're here to help.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA, or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challen San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
7:43 in the morning, you got a phone, you got a camera, then put them together and go and start taking some outrageous and incredible pictures of George Washington. And the reason why is because I hate bullies, and it feels like this is bully stuff going on where without consultation, all of a sudden you've got teachers, students, parents of the SPED kids that are finding themselves being displaced out of their classrooms in favor of a charter school. And why do we care so much about that rolling in there? And I'm concerned that the SPED families don't have a voice. Well, I've got a voice. I know many people. I've got many people that I love in my life that have got children that are in these SPED courses, and I, as I said, worry that they don't have a voice. I'll be a voice, and it looks like we've got another voice, Robert Koss, ex-Squire, joining me now on the program. How you doing, counselor?
Good morning. Not a lawyer, just a representative, union representative.
Oh, yeah. Well, now this will be interesting. Is I get the conservative loudmouth on the radio, and who's he talking to is a union guy, and there's not too many places where our lives intersect. But it looks like this is going to be one of those cases.
Yeah. I represent the teachers at GW. And they have made it very, very clear that there's a lot of opposition to what's going on. We looked at it; it appears to be non-compliant with law and the union contract. So, that puts an obligation on me to act.
Does it put an obligation on another Esquire? Do we need to get another counselor involved here? Is there room? Is there time for action, legal action?
Oh, definitely. We will be working with our lawyers to ensure that we do everything we can to pull the handbrake on what DOE is trying to do here.
I appreciate that language. Handbrake, I think, is the word. The vehicle is out of control, and I think you and others have made it clear that you don't seem to trust the thinking of the person behind the wheel of the Department of Education right now.
Well, I don't know. Don't trust might be the right term, but I like to think that we just don't have, all the information. And the reason we don't have all the information, is they're moving forward in accordance with an authority granted to them under Public Law 3866. And that law, while they can enter into an MOU, before they do that, there are public hearings that need to be held. There are contracts that need to be approved with the Attorney General of Guam. Then what else do we got?
Do we need to have meetings and then notice those meetings for open government law purposes?
Yes, sir. That's correct.
I'm not aware of any of those happening.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. That's one of the things I think that definitely needs to happen, because maybe if they had followed that process, they would realize that this is a very unpopular idea or way of handling things. It also states that, they may use vacant facilities. Now, if you have to move teachers and students out of classrooms, is that a vacant facility? I don't think so. And then, of course, lying to the staff. The administration lied to the teachers in their presentation. They stood up there and said, when they realized that there was opposition, they told us, they said, your principal came to us and he said, we have space and we can do this. But what the principal said was, I was told to do this, and I'm a good little soldier, so I did what I was told to do. That's a complete, so there's, trust. Trust is gone.
Now, did I hear, and there have been 4 or 5 conversations that we've had about it on the air and numerous stories. I think there was a claim that was made that they checked with the unions. And the union didn't have any issues with the displacement of the student and the students and the teachers at GW.
Yeah, I am not aware that actually happened. They may have talked to somebody who's a member of the union, but that doesn't constitute talking to the union. At the time all this happened, our president was off island, so for certain they didn't talk to him. I don't know that they talked to anybody, to be honest. But there's a contract violation, because under a contract, teaching assignments and classrooms are finalized at the end of last school year. And finalized means it's not going to change. And today, the day before school starts, it's changing. So that's a violation.
I'm wondering, there's, and I brought this up before, why is the Department of Education, why is the Superintendent of Education seem to be bending over backwards for a charter school? I get it. We're all of us in charge and have an obligation as a community to educate our children, but seemingly, though, at the expense of these SPED kids and their families and their routines here. But I'm wondering, what's the big deal? Why is CFA all of a sudden the most important thing in the Department of Education?
Right. So our superintendent, is she a former affiliate with CFA?
Using for a time.
Oh my. Okay. So I guess she has a history with the charter schools, but she's now a very well-paid employee of the Department of Education. Her roles and responsibilities are to move DOE forward, not CFA.
My point.
So we saw the schools. She tried to close down the schools in the South. Also, very unpopular idea. Was that so that she could turn those facilities over to charter schools? See, that's just where I think she really needs to come out now. She's been very quiet. She doesn't make a lot of public statements about education, but she really needs to come out now and talk to the people and tell us what she is doing, because it's very suspect, and it has the appearance that it's very suspect, and it has the appearance that it's about their personal interests here.
Interesting. I'll note that for the record and for the future. Is there what exactly are the powers, as you understand them from the union perspective, of the superintendent of education? Because it seems to me now that she is moving with a certain amount of omnipotence here. They decide that they're going to be closing down the southern schools, and it's only until there's a massive cry that reaches into the legislature, and there's a massive outcry from among the community members down south that they don't want their schools messed with, and that issue went away. I think there is still an issue between the Teeds and Titan family and the Simon Sanchez family on what the nature of this new school year is going to look like for them, because that doesn't feel like it was completely thought out and vetted before the community, and now we've got this fiasco at GW. Is there a certain amount of omnipotence that the superintendent of education, whoever it is, enjoys?
Well, she does have some authority, but there are also, it's not unfettered discretion to do these things. There are laws in place that require she go through a certain process when this happens. It's going to involve, again, public hearings, and the board has to be part of that, because she's going to have to adopt rules and procedures in order to, have something in place so she can rely on to say that we did this, in accordance with policy. And so, all that process is going to involve, public hearings, getting input from the public, and it's not unfettered discretion, if that's what you're asking. So the union's role usually doesn't absurd the authority of the superintendent, but what we do is, when it affects our members, is we negotiate how she exercises that authority.
Yeah.
And in this case, she did not have the authority to require teachers to move out of their classrooms, according to our contract, in full force and effect right now. The teaching assignments were final at the end of last year. If teachers were not notified of a change of room assignment, then the room assignments they have are final.
Will there be an injunction? Is that one? Obviously, that's a tool at your disposal, and your legal team should be able to put that together and present it to the courts immediately. But is that one of the tools that you're considering today?
But it'll be up to our attorneys. This is moving really, really fast. We just found out about this on Wednesday,
right?
When we attended the meeting with the teachers, and so it's only been a couple of days. I'm still gathering facts at this point. We will, share our goals and objectives with our attorney, and it'll be up to him to figure it out. I think a writ of mandate is a very, quick way to get something from the court. And maybe we could get one that would stop the superintendent from doing something until she at least follows the process.
Yes, and for the students over at GW, it should be transparent. For the CFA students, maybe a little bit more of a delay between now and the start of the school year. I mean, there's no parent that's crazy about that idea, but no parent, I think, of the SPED students, and in fact, the rest of the Gecko family, I think, are going to be crazy about moving forward with this half-cooked plan.
I don't think so either, and I think there are other people who aren't very crazy about it either. I did see Chris Barnett there; he was very vocal.
Oh boy. Yeah, I had a list of things to talk to him about yesterday, but the entire conversation was thank you very much to the voters, and then went right into his observations of this current fiasco and the points that he made before the body at that Wednesday night gathering that you were part of as well.
Right. And Dan Summerflex, a big advocate for the SPED students who are being affected. I understand they're already coming to him, looking for, some kind of help. The classrooms they're moving them into were formerly condemned. We're moving our most, our specialized learners, our high-risk learners, into the least optimal learning conditions. And I understand there's asbestos in those rooms. They talked about mold. I haven't seen the rooms myself. I don't know for them. This isn't really about CFA. It doesn't say anything about the quality of the education they're providing. It just is about what they're doing to the GW teachers, for me, because that's my role, right? But, I do know that Summerflex is absolutely livid about what they're doing to the students, and at the end of the day, teaching and learning are kind of the same thing. So, I know that, Mr. Summerfleck will be moving forward with some sort of an action as well. What he does, I don't know. But I know these special needs students always have to sue for their rights.
Correct.
They're constantly, being mistreated by DOE.
Go back to COVID, Robert. Bob Koss is the guy I'm talking to right now with the Federation of Teachers, the GFT. And you can go back to the COVID times, and, they thought it was going to be a hunky-dory to have all of these special ed students taking their online courses. That's, for many of these kids, depending on where they are on the spectrum, that's either acceptable or unacceptable, but it's a break in the routine. It's a break in the connection that they have with their special education teachers, and which is a relationship that is unbelievably strong and in my mind, sacrosanct. I mean, hell, they got these relationships with the bus drivers of SPED. That's how important these routines and relationships are, and they thought they could just mess around with them and said, don't worry about it. We'll just do this online. And for a lot of the kids, that was the waste of time for, I think, most everybody, the teachers, the students, especially the SPED kids. But that's just me. Right. Maybe not. I don't know. With regard to Mr. Summerfleck, I was disappointed with the case that he brought before, and that seemed to get blown off. I think the elevator case from a couple of weeks back is in my head, and I didn't bother reaching out to him at that time. But you remind me that yeah, he's a strong advocate for the kids and the families with special needs.
Well, yeah. At the end of the day, providing a accommodation doesn't necessarily have to be the one that the student demands, like having an elevator. They could accommodate that student by moving them down to the first floor. And, that's I think what the courts found on that. The important thing with SPED students, though, in education is it needs to be stability. They need stability in order to learn. They can't have this constantly changing environment like they're experiencing at GW right now. Are we going to move them over, then sue them, and then move them back to their old classroom again? That's going to disrupt education. Correct. This is all, counterproductive. And quite frankly, this is what I want Dr. Wampat to tell us is how is this in DOE's interest? Because it's DOE superintendent making this move, but what's the benefit to DOE? Why would DOE want to do this? It seems like we're catering to CFA at the expense of DOE.
That's what it is. That's what it is, Robert. I got to break away. I got seconds away from the top of the hour. Always a pleasure talking with you. Let's do this more often.
Thank you. Sure, love to.
All right, and appreciate the post that you put on Facebook, and that's why I shared it. I got to share Fox News with you now. It's 8 o'clock.
He says the decision was unfair. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. That's why President Trump signed executive orders to end so-called birth tourism in the state after the Supreme Court decision in June upheld birthright citizenship.
This was done for a different reason. This was done right after the Civil War. This was for the babies of slaves.
The second order would limit the number of people eligible for U.S. citizenship after being born in the U.S. On the Iran conflict, the president said he thinks it's going to end pretty soon as mediators work on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz.
We have a thing called the blockade headed up by the U.S. Navy, and we control it.
But the president warned there could still be incidents coming from Iran, like an attempt to shoot down U.S. forces or a mine placed in the strait. The White House says Iran has been negotiating an end to the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz with Oman, though Tehran denies it. A Senate panel votes to hold Dr. Anthony Fauci in contempt for refusing to answer questions during a hearing last week.
A week after Anthony Fauci invoked the Fifth Amendment more than 100 times at a Senate hearing, the Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee voted to refer Fauci to the Justice Department for contempt of Congress.
A subpoena is not an invitation. A subpoena with no consequence is not a subpoena. It's a suggestion.
Republican Chairman Rand Paul says Fauci's constitutional right against self-incrimination does not apply since he was pardoned by former President Biden. Democrats say Republicans are breaking with precedent by not respecting a witness's Fifth Amendment privilege.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A detective in Spokane County, Washington, says Aaron Farinacci, the man accused of setting one of the area's wildfires, confessed and said he planned to set the fire for weeks. Wall Street stocks edged lower. The Dow lost 464, the NASDAQ minus 15. America is listening to Fox News.
Have you heard? Subway just launched the all-new Subway Wraps. Your favorite footlong, now wrapped in a tender wheat tortilla that's perfect for any flavor craving. Go low carb, hit your protein goals, or just eat
when you are. Freshly ground Mr. Brown coffee, now exclusively available at Circle K.
Two voting rights groups are accusing a county in Texas of changing its voting maps after primary elections.
In an emergency filing to the Texas Supreme Court, Campaign Legal Center and the UCLA Voting Rights Project claim Galveston County officials changed voting maps between the state's March primary and November's general election, asking the state's high court to block the maps, saying the switch could move voters into different races, leaving some without an election and invalidating primary votes. Court documents show the new maps were passed in June, changing the existing precinct boundaries that Galveston County says will favor the interests of the people. Jeff Manosso, Fox News.
Hackers built 72 websites targeting employees at numerous financial firms, law firms, and credit agencies, according to Reuters, including Blackstone, Apollo, and KKR. Google, which first reported the hacking, said the hackers called employees on their personal cell phones, pretending to call them from the company's help desk and asked them to update passwords to get into their accounts. Another food company ditching dyes from its products.
For years, WK Kellogg has faced pressure to remove artificial ingredients from its cereals, and now it's happening. The cereal maker is getting rid of artificial colors from all of its cereals by the end of the year. The change comes a year ahead of schedule. Kellogg has identified fruit and vegetable-based juices that will give cereals like Fruit Loops and Apple Jacks their characteristic colors. Kellogg will also be investing in equipment that will allow it to transition to natural colors. In addition, Kellogg will be removing BHT, an artificial preservative, from the small number of cereals that still contain it.
Fox's Hillary Barsky. A new kind of flu shot's on the way. The FDA's approved a new type of vaccine for older people, the first made with the same mRNA technology that was used in COVID vaccines. Moderna said it expects some supply to be available in certain stores soon. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Whoever said no risk, no reward has never been sued. Hi, I'm Dave Silva from AB Risk Solutions, and our job for over 70 years has been to help businesses just like yours manage risk. Manage risk? We will never be able to totally eliminate the myriad of risks every business faces, but we can help you manage them and recover when disaster strikes. From mom and pop operations to high-rise hotels, we're the experts businesses have counted on for many years. Call me today at 777-2668 for a free risk review and consultation.
AB Risk Solutions, formerly known as Aon.
Stay cool all year round by checking out Johnstone Supply for your HVAC and refrigeration needs. Located at 170 Guerrero Drive on Pickendell Road in Tamuning, call Johnstone Supply today at 671-649-0581. That's 671-649-0581. Open 8 a.m. to noon and 1 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday. Open Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and closed on Sundays. Stay cool with Johnstone Supply.
APL, global presence with a local home. APL is a U.S. flag shipping company, delivering from the U.S., Asia, and Europe with weekly arrivals to Guam and Saipan. Our local Guam team is committed to serving all your logistical needs. Call us at 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Off today, it's 8:06. I'm Donna DeJesus with a look at your local news on The Point. The Civil Service Commission ruled the AG's office violated procedure when firing former Assistant AG Donna Lawrence. Commission Chair Juan Calvo stated Lawrence is entitled to reinstatement, back pay, and attorney fees. Lawrence was terminated in December 2023 for misconduct. Her lawyer proved the office failed to issue a final decision within 10 days of her response and fired her before a second 10-day deadline expired. Commissioners voted 4-0 that the AG violated both the 10-day requirement and the 90-day rule for finalizing adverse actions. And the Guam Election Commission may conduct a recount for the Republican senatorial race for the 15th and 16th positions. Executive Director Maria Pangilinan stated that newcomers Joseph Arreola and Alexander Duenas are separated by a margin of 12 votes. Under Guam law, a recount is triggered when the vote difference is 2% or less. GEC is processing provisional ballots ahead of the certification deadline on August 15. Commissioners will decide on the recount tomorrow. More news after this.
Back to school starts with one important stop at the FHB Health Center. Get your child's school physical, immunizations, vision exam, and dental checkup with caring providers. Complete your child's back-to-school checkups at FHP and receive a free gift after the visit while supplies last. With one checkup, your child is ready for school, and FHB is here long after the first day of class for every stage of your child's health. Visit FHPGuam.com to request an appointment. FHP, our island, your clinic.
Airlines serving Guam have warned that proposed operation fee increases by the Guam International Airport Authority could lead to higher airfares and reduced service. During a legislative special session, officials read emails from major carriers, including Japan Airlines, Jin Air, and Air Busan. The carriers stated that higher fees would severely challenge route The median wage is $46,250, the lowest nationwide. Unrepresented private and charter school educators face the deepest wage disparities. The union is pushing for 4 key changes, including indexing pay, bargaining rights, a stabilization plan, and scholarship funding. And those were your top stories. Back to Ray with weather.
Wow. So we've got among the lowest paid teachers, like in the nation, is what that story is saying. How's that? But wait a second.
It's true.
But doesn't the superintendent make like $200,000, $210,000 or something like that?
Even she's not paid enough.
Thanks. And give her an office at GW at 9 after 8 o'clock in the morning. For clarity and accuracy, Mr. Koss was wondering out loud where it was that Judy Wanpat was the administrator for. It was not CIFA. In the past. It's not Life Sciences is Fun Academy. She was the administrator of the Guahan Charter Academy back in the day before she got that super high-paying job as the superintendent of education for the Department of Education. 10 after 8 o'clock in the morning. Is there weather today? Yeah. Is it gloomy and overcast and windy and rainy like it was yesterday? Yeah, that's pretty much what we're in for. It looks like we're in for it all weekend long. Weather forecast has got the words scattered showers and thunderstorms all up and down in it with highs near 84 degrees. Going to be breezy, west-southwest winds. Today, 16 to 22 miles an hour. Might see some gusts later as high as 28 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast on Friday evening tonight as well. Tomorrow, same thing, scattered showers and thunderstorms, west-southwesterly winds. Sunday, maybe we can look for a little bit of clearing. They're just calling for scattered showers on Sunday with mostly cloudy skies, daytime highs of about 84 degrees. With a heat index today, we'll feel like 90 at 40% chance of rain. Careful on the waters with all of the additional wind that we've got gusting around because of dolphin and the monsoon surge. Huh. There might be hazards in the water when you decide you want to get out there, so just stick around on the beach. Sunrise this morning was at 6:06, and sunset tonight should be about 6:46. You know, Joe, we get these sunrise shots from Alicia Duenas-Anderson, and today, in addition to the beautiful sunrise shot, she's also sent us an image of the... This is the Guam Memorial Hospital, the new driveway that they've got there, the new parking area.
Crowning achievement.
Yeah. Maximum effort. We've got blacktop, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
There's blacktop, and there's candlesticks there. I'm not sure, not being a parking lot engineer myself. So it does look like we've got a little bit of a walkway there. There's no place to put your shopping cart, unfortunately, afterwards. And it looks like there's still some connections that they've got. I guess it's going to be old blacktop, and then the new parking spaces that they've got there. It's got the little parking slabs already in place. I guess they're just waiting on some paint or something like that, and maybe somebody to come by and do some water blasting. I can hardly wait for the grand opening of the new Guam Memorial Hospital parking lot. I wonder if they got that big ass white tent from Johnny Cool. I think have they made reservations on that? Is there like a standing reservation? We don't know when it's going to happen, but we know it's going to just Johnny.
I hope they invite you.
Don't let anybody borrow that for their wedding or anything like that until after we've had a chance to use it. There it is, the current state. Now, when did they start the construction on this? All right, something else to look up. It's 8:12 in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show. When I come back, I'll see what Google can tell me.
Hello, Guam. The Minions and Monsters have taken over Wendy's. Get your hands on the Minions and Monsters adult meal. Choose a spicy chicken sandwich or the Big Bacon Classic with a single, double, or triple juicy beef patty. Then cool off with the new Banana Frosty Swirl. And here's the best part. Every adult meal comes with one of 4 limited edition Minions and Monsters collectible toy. But don't monkey around. These tasty treats and collectibles are only here for a limited time. Head to your nearest Wendy's today and collect them all.
When it comes to lung cancer, early detection is the key, but lung cancer doesn't always show symptoms, especially early on. GRMC's lung cancer screening offers a quick, low-dose CT scan to detect lung cancer before it spreads. If you're between 50 and 80 years old and have smoked or quit within the last 15 years, this screening could help you take control of your health. Call 671-645-5500, extension 4891, or visit grmc.gu to see if you qualify for this life-saving screening. Don't wait. Take action today with GRMC.
Got it. 8:14, Ray Gibson Show. A portion is brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Last weekend of the summer of 2026 for many students, it's back to school. You know what you need to do? Take the kids for something fun to do. You know what you should do? Test drive a new Nissan. I got it. Quarter after 8 o'clock in the morning on the Ray Gibson Show, 888-825-888-TALK. No frowny face Friday, although there might, in the conversation about the Wasifa versus the SPED at George Washington team short bus. I got your back. Looks like Robert Costa's got your back. We'll see if we can find Dan Summerfleck a little bit later on and see what he'll be able to add to it. The updates on the story are from Senator Vince Borja, who said that SIFA and DOE are now discussing alternatives to having SPED teachers basically kicked out of their classrooms and put into closets and laundry rooms and things like that over at George Washington. The union has got their eye on it, and their legal people are looking at things right now. Is it possible there could be some kind of a writ, some kind of an injunction before the end of the day? Watch out for all of these moving parts. Sarita Garin online says, I can't believe these issues are still coming out few days before the opening of the school, to which Smug Wimp says, every year without fail there's going to be something, and we haven't turned the keys on the classrooms yet, or the buses. Wait a minute,
we never failed to fail?
We never failed to fail. 8:16 in the morning. I'm going to switch gears for a little bit. And by the way, it's 10 months. October the 29th was when the government of Guam and Guam Memorial Hospital broke ground, as it were, on the new parking lot. 38, 39, maybe 40. I don't know. I don't know what number they eventually ended up with, and I can't count the little things in the picture on the screen right now. But they're $1 million or something. I'm sure it's up to that. 10 months for them to basically clear the way, put some blacktop down, and they haven't gotten around to painting it. I'm sure the excuses will be weather related or money related or whatever. But it will be some time. And just how long does it take to put down a parking lot? When just go just pass by like the GTA building down in Camp Watkins. They got a parking lot there. That take 10 months?
Yeah.
No. What about cost you less in Agania, the new construction there? That 10 months worth?
That was like 4 days.
I didn't think so. 8:17. All right. So like I said, I'm going to switch gears on this and bring in I think it's a new voice to the program, Terry Guevara Smith. Buenas and half a day. Welcome to the Ray Gibson Show.
Hi, half a day. Thank you. Is my sound okay?
You sound wonderful. There's a little bit of a delay, but that's because you're in 301 and I'm here in the 671. But I think the listeners will be able to put up with that with no problem.
Okay, thank you. I'll try my best to talk slowly. I'm actually here at Shirley's. I'm here in Shirley's in Agania. So they gave me the back room so I could be uninterrupted. So thank you to Shirley's. I love their oatmeal.
There's everything on there. Everything on their menu, Terry, is awesome. Thank you very much for reminding me about that place. You know, they do a pretty good seafood boil on the other side of that Shirley's. Yeah. Are you aware of that?
Yeah. No, but I'm from Maryland, and I have seafood boil a lot.
All right.
I'm from Maryland, the Blue Crab.
I was going to say, so what Chamorro family is in Maryland?
Buku, plenty.
Cool.
Plenty. Military bases all over Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. When you have military bases, you have Chamorros.
That's a fact. That is a fact, and a growing number of the diaspora that are moving around because things have been brighter here on Guam in the past, as I'm sure you're aware of. But we've got an election, we've got a change that is coming up down the road. But I don't want to get into the politics of it right now because I think that you've got a program and a project here that is going to be fascinating. I think it's going to be heartwarming and an opportunity for many men and women who've worn the uniform of the Armed Forces of the United States of America to tell their stories. So tell me about your storytelling project.
Yes. In 2020, I was able to tell my military story for the Veteran History Project in the Library of Congress. Back in 2000, a law came and mandated the library to start collecting military stories of all veterans. And this is 25 years ago, right? And 2020, I got involved with it. because they interviewed me in the library, actually in the clock tower, right? So 2020, COVID hit, 2021, I retired with my husband from the federal government. Okay, we were free, but we weren't free from prostate cancer.
Oh.
So 2022, we battled that. 2023, I did my first. My first was a Native American from California, married to a Chamorro woman up in Fairfield, and he was Air Force Native American. So I was honored to do him. But ever since then, I've been moving forward. I came to Guam in 2023 and did 6 more veterans. And then I came back last year and did 23 veterans. And I'm back now to do more veterans from the Veterans History Project and then myself. And what I did to make it easier for our veterans here on the island is have a northern, a central, and a southern. So I'm sorry, let's go back. This is going to happen with the librarians doing interviews with our veterans here. The 18th, 19th, 20, and 21. This is the schedule. You have a choice. If you're from the north, go to the American Legion. If you're from the central, it was going to be the Vietnam Veterans of America Coban, but because of the typhoon, we had to go to the Gova in Agana, and they gave me one of their conference room, right?
Excellent.
In Alahan, the mayor there is veteran. He gave me his conference room. So that week, I will be supporting the library, interviewing down in the South with our Southern veterans, right? So I am grateful because Chris Torren from American Legion, Joe Yotar from VBA, and Tony Chargala made this happen. Without those veterans helping this effort, I would have to find the library is only open Monday to Thursday, so we couldn't do anything on Friday, and they only got 2 rooms. So I'm grateful that I was able to split it up to help our veterans, especially the guys from the South, not having to come up to Agana or all the way up to American Legion. However, I am in American Legion this week and next week because my effort is the whole month of August. It's just that you will find Terry in Alahan in the mayor's office conducting interviews there. There's flyers, there's WhatsApp text. The leaders of the veteran organization, leaders from here, they know about this and they're sharing this. And in fact, the other day I heard from Leon Grove from Mauricio. He got the flyer and he said, Auntie Terry, I want to do this. Can you please give me information? I did. He said, Auntie Terry, I'm going to post it in the Mauricio website. So all the veterans, because we have a lot of veterans, Auntie Terry and Malazzo, I said, boy, help me, get them. And they don't have to just use the 18th, to the 21st. They got me now, and they'll get me to the 27th of August because I fly out on the 31st. So that's the Library of Congress Veteran History Project. So far, I'm on number 85. I did a veteran yesterday. He was number 85.
Now, when you say veterans, the veterans from all periods. I mean, I'm not sure if there's still any World War II vets here on Guam, but I know that there's Korean War veterans. Obviously, a lot of Vietnam era veterans that are floating around, and then we've got the Desert Shield, Desert Storm veterans, etc. It's just everybody, huh?
Okay, this is the requirement. Everybody, la-di-da-di. If you are a veteran, even if you serve half of your 2-year term or half of your 4-year term, even if you serve peacetime, if you serve wartime, that's also great, right? But peacetime, wartime, Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Space Force, National Guard, Reserve, including CB. And last year, I did a CB last year, right? Space Force, I haven't done yet, but it's open. So please, veterans, you as long as you're a veteran, no matter how long or how short your term is, if it's just 1 year, if you meet the requirement as a veteran, I will capture your story. And the importance of this story is that your story is going to be heard 50, 100, 200 years from now. Your legacy while you were in the military is going to be archived in the largest Library of Congress in the entire world. So your future children are going to be able to hear your story, your military story. So please, I know a lot of you say, Auntie, I don't have a story. I only did it. I did it in peacetime. I don't have a story. You do have a story. You have a story, no matter if it's a heroic story, which I captured a lot of heroes from Guam. Oh my God, Bronze Star, Vietnam, Gallantry Cross. Oh my God, I am so proud to be a Chamorro. I am so proud to be a veteran and a Chamorro woman veteran. I am so proud. Our men and women are heroes. And it may not be a hero during a battle, but they are heroes during peacetime. Peacetime, they have made a difference for their military service, Air Force, Army, Navy, Marine. These guys, our guys made a difference, but you don't know that until you can see them in the Library of Congress, in the history books. You won't know that until you watch their video, right? Let me use me as an example. I am Teresita. Let me use me as an example. I am Teresita Guevara. I'm a retired Army Sergeant First Class. My family is Cruz. I'm a Fungu, my mom. My dad is Guevara. I'm a Calo. And I'm also a Cretu on the Taitano side and a Chilinco on the Guerrero side. So introducing yourself as such, it puts the Chamorro culture in with your story.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have family names and that we use it even today is very important in our culture and tradition to carry it on 50, 100, 250 years from now, right? After that, the next question is, who's your mom and dad and what did they do? This is important. If your dad was in the military, the only one that I could interview are Gold Stars, right? And I'm interviewing a parent of a Gold Star. They're the only one who could tell the story of their lost veteran because he died in combat.
We have so
However, if you have a father, brother, sister, uncle, father-in-law, right, who's in the military, this is when you bring their story in with your story. Yes, my father was in Vietnam. He served in 67 to 68. He was in the Air Force. He was part of the lift, and you know, he did this and he did that. This is how you bring your dad's story in with your story. And then the next question is, why did you join the military? And with our guys, a lot of them said they wanted to pay back. It's patriotic. My father did it. My uncle did it. I wanted to do it, right? It was not a lot of, I wanted to leave the island. It was about patriotism, right? So that's the third question. And then I just lead them to basic training. What happened in basic training? Did you meet any Chamorros? Did you have any barbecues? What happened in your school, your AIT? Where'd you go to AIT? Oh, where did you go? Where did they send you after that? Oh, I went to Fort Sam, Houston, you know, and I was stationed there. Oh, you met a lot of Chamorros there, I'll bet. Oh, yeah. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Putting that Chamorro culture in your story is going to keep the Chamorro alive because this is archived forever, to include photos, original photos that the veterans might want to give me to attach to their file, right? So it's very simple. I let the veterans talk. I don't stop them. I let them talk, but I have to lead them. Some of them I have to lead them, like the Vietnam veterans, right? I have to lead them and help them to focus. And one of them actually wrote all his, he typed in the questions on the question form, right? So when it's time, he's going to make sure that he's reading it. And I allow him to read it because he wants to make sure he captures that fact. Because it also asks you, who are your lifelong friends from the military? Did you use your GI Bill? You know, what are you doing after you got out? Are you with one of the national service organizations like VFW, American Legion, or VBA? What are you doing today? Are you doing anything for the veterans, right? So it goes from the beginning of your life to your military career and then to what you're doing today. And most of the time I ask for 2 hours, but my darling, my record was broken by a Chamorro Marine E9 in Houston, Texas, 5 hours. And I thought that my 2 hours and 45 minutes from the Admiral former admiral of Commonwealth Bar in Virginia in the senior citizen home. I found him because a Chamorro woman led me to him. I interviewed him 2 hours and 45 minutes, right? I thought that was a lot. But when I did this young man in Fort Houston earlier, Houston, Texas, earlier this year, 5 hours. But listen, his father is Vietnam veteran. His father-in-law is Vietnam veteran. This is the story that I always remember with the guy. Not only that he broke my record, 5 hours, but this is it. He retired from the Marines, right? Senior NCO. His father came to him after the ceremony. He presented a box to the son. The son opened the box. It was a Bronze Star. Dad, I didn't get a Bronze Star, even though this guy was in Iraq and Afghanistan back to back. He had war stories, right? Dad said, no, son, this is mine. This is mine. And he never told his story to his family, to his son, the Marine. But he told his story then. And I was able to capture that, my uncle, his father, I was able to capture his story because 3 veterans in one household. And I was able to capture the story on why he got that Bronze Star. And the phenomenal hero
yes.
of these guys.
Off some of the folders of interviews that she has conducted in her time and in her incredible work with the veterans community. So I want to make sure that veterans that are listening to the broadcast or families of veterans that are listening to the broadcast, there are the 18th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. And there will be interview opportunities, not necessarily with you, but there will be interviewers at American Legion,
right,
at the Gova.
And also the 22nd, Saturday.
And the 22nd.
Saturday, 22nd
okay.
at the Gova.
And then
also,
you will be down in Alahan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do people,
now,
I mean, do they need to make an appointment? What do we got to do next?
Yes, please. Hey, veterans, please text me on WhatsApp. I have to schedule you. I don't want you to be sitting outside waiting for 2 hours if this veteran decides to speak for 2 hours. My average is an hour. I don't want you waiting. I need to schedule you with one of the veterans or with me during the whole month of August.
They have beer at American Legion. It's okay.
I'm on WhatsApp.
They have beer at American Legion, so it's okay to wait. So you're on WhatsApp. Can I give the number?
Yes, 301-675-8518. And my email, because some guys need email, Fuunamagas, FUUNAMAGAS @AOL.com. You see how proud I am?
Fuuna. It's okay. Fuuna Magas at what did you say? Hotmail.
AOL.com.
You're showing our age. I haven't had an AOL email address in a long time.
I know. It's okay.
I'm so happy with this conversation. I'm so glad that we were able to make a connection. And maybe between now and when you leave, we got to think about getting you into the studio because you are a lively character. And frankly, I could sit back and just listen to you talk for an hour. I think our listeners could as well. This is going to be interesting.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not finished. What about the Leaders to Leadership effort?
Oh, then we're going to have to schedule another. We'll tell you what. We'll schedule another call between now and it's Friday now, so you're going to be here for a while. So we got plenty of time to get you back on the air and get you some more veterans that you can interview. So if you can, I will have Real Joe give you one of my email addresses so that actually just reach out to me. I'm on Facebook. We're on Facebook together. So just look for Ray Gibson on Facebook. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll put something together for next week. Okay.
And thank you for helping me gather our veterans, please. Thank you.
Oh, you know what? I never had the privilege of service. I'm descended from a Marine, it's people like you that have taken the oath and have worn the uniform that have taken an opportunity to serve their country and to live and unfortunately die for the Constitution and the flag. So it's people like you that allow me to continue to do what I do on the radio. So thank you very much for all of that. So I'm gonna
like our veterans.
Yes, I'm going to put you on hold, Auntie
But
Terry.
Ray, this is for all veterans, please. This is not just for Chamorros. It's for Filipinos. It's for Black Americans, Caucasian Americans. Please, it's for all veterans. I do all. So reach out to me, please.
Going to keep you busy while you're here, Terry. You stay on the telephone line. I'm going to get Real Joe's going to give you my email address, etc. And while he is doing that, we're going to play a couple of spots, come back with Donna D and her last look at news and headlines for the week. That's ahead right here. Stay there.
Today, Guam, the wait is over. Our new CPK menu has arrived. Discover bold new flavors, fresh creations, and crave-worthy dishes you won't want to miss. Whether you're joining us for lunch, dinner, or happy hour, there's never been a better time to visit California Pizza Kitchen. Bring your family, gather your friends, and come find your new favorite. The new menu is waiting for you at CPK in Hagåtña and Tumon. California Pizza Kitchen. Fresh is always on the menu.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge, because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet, and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information.
8:38, Ray Gibson Show. Portions brought to you by Kim and Ron and all the beautiful people at Security Title. Told you, Donna, it's news time. What you got?
I was distracted by AOL. I started reminiscing.
My old CompuServe address, 766, comma. Now I've got to remember it. I used to remember it off the top of my head. News now. What's going on?
The Supreme Court denied an AG's office motion to file a U.S. Supreme Court petition notice in a 2023. Teen in grades K through 12 are invited to register, explore troop activities, and preview the upcoming cookie program. The open house runs weekdays from noon to 4 and Saturdays from 9 to 1. Adults are also welcome to explore volunteer opportunities during the 90th anniversary year. And that was your last look at local headlines on The Point. Now back to Ray.
There is still CompuServe.
Oh.
There's still, I'm on a lark. I went to Google and typed in CompuServe.com.
Try logging in.
I don't know if I still have an account there. I don't know if it'll still let me check my mail.
Wake up the old AI.
Old AI.
The OG AI.
Oh, it took me to AOL. It took me to an AOL website. All right. 76146, 3315 at CompuServe.com was my email address and my login at CompuServe back in the 1990s. And back then there was the email was you could only email people inside of CompuServe. That was the only way that you could do it. If you wanted to send an email to somebody, one of the original ones was a thing called I'm sure Smug Wimp is going, come on, say it, Ray, say it. MCI Mail. And you would log into MCI Mail and you'd type your letter, whatever it is that you were sending, and then press send. And somewhere out in the United States of America, there was a printer that would print out your mail, stick it in an envelope, and put it in the post office.
What?
That was how the one of the original versions of email worked. I mean, that was,
So
but
it
it was
kind of like snail mail.
it was but it was a step up.
Yeah.
From the fax machines and which were expensive because you still had a long distance from Guam, which was expensive.
That's right.
So it was a step up from fax machines and telexes. And I used first couple of years when I was at cable TV, I actually had to use a telex when we got our records at Hit Radio 100 from Tower Records.
Oh my God.
Yes, we got our records every week, and if there was something special that I needed, I'd have to go to the telex machine, dial the telex machine over at Tower Records, and ask them to insert certain songs into the box that was pouched to us every week. Fascinating times, doing business back into olden days with the olden ways. All right, you ready for your celebrity birthdays and special events? Yeah, close enough. Michelle Yeoh from All at Once, Everything Everywhere All at Once, is 64 years old today.
Right. She's only 64.
That's only 6. I'm only 64. Hey! It's got an Asian-sounding name.
She does.
That's
the rich, crazy Asians.
To type M. Night Shyamalan.
Yeah, what about him?
What a weirdo.
He sees dead people.
Is there a plot twist coming?
Yes. He's 56. Never really did he never really outshine himself with the Sixth Sense?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
The Village. She had this one called The Village, I think.
That sounds scary.
I got to check and see if I watched it or
Just
not.
a mind game. That's not right.
Jerry Halliwell Horner, the Spice Girls.
Oh yeah, she's Ginger Spice.
I hope so.
She is.
54 years old.
Oh really?
And this was the blurb that I gave to Donna early in the morning. It woke her up. Soleil Moon Frye, a.k.a. Punky Brewster, is 50.
How dare they?
It's just the idea that Punky Brewster on that we used to watch on a television all the time back in the day is 50 years old. 5 years from now, she can go and get schooling for free at the University of Guam. It's Balloons to Heaven Day.
What does that mean?
You know, you go to funeral and there's somebody with pigeons and balloons. And it's a balloon.
Yeah.
The balloon's in the shape of a cross, and then they release it out. And then there's the song at the end that they play while everybody.
And then a turtle ends up choking on it.
Yeah, somewhere out in the world. It's the Fresh Breath Day.
Okay.
The older I get, the more I worry about that, especially since I quit chewing betel nut. It's Gossip Day.
You quit?
Well, I haven't.
Or you're out.
I'm out, but I'm not going to bother anybody to bring me any because between
I just gave him side eye, like you quit. Yeah.
Between Sinlaco and Bobby, it blew down all of the good nuts off the tree. I'm dry. Yeah, but I'm not. It's not like I'm going on the air.
He's not climbing the walls.
I'm not bugging Rico, and
he didn't bite all his fingers off. He's cool,
but it makes my breath stinky. It's Gossip Day, IPA Day.
That sounds familiar. What is
Well,
that?
it's Indian Pale Ale. It's.
Oh, is that what it stands for?
Yes, and they made it intentionally strong because it needed to travel from England all the way to India. And so there were changes that they made to the formulation to that makes it taste stronger, and now there's it's hoppier. What's that?
I never knew that.
That there was
That's
that
very
IPA
interesting.
actually
the whole
stood
like
for something.
shipping to no, I knew that.
Yeah.
But I didn't know it was a shipping to India thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so it's Indian Pale Ale, and now there's guys that their whole thing. I don't want to refer to them as things that happened on this date in 1991. Not too far off from something that I was talking about a second ago with the AOL.com email addresses and the CompuServe.com emails. But it was on this date in 1991.
In the late 1900s?
Towards the end of the last century, the World Wide Web was born. The development of global internet access and linking. A network of networks, they called
what
it.
You've done.
That's, man, the interwebs.
Two innovators at the CERN laboratory in Geneva, Switzerland. And by 1993, there were 130 sites on the World Wide Web. Since I started this story, there's 130,000 new sites that have hit the interwebs out there. Absolutely crazy. 1998 on this date, former White House intern Monica Lewinsky spent
Never heard of her.
Who dat?
8.5 hours testifying before a grand jury about her relationship with President Bill Clinton.
He did not have sexual relations
He
with
did
that
not.
woman.
Yeah,
They played pickleball.
Remember they played that over and over and over again?
And until he came out and said they
sorry.
finally did. SOB lied. And they love him. They absolutely
Still
love
love him.
You know
adore
why?
President
because he
Bill
plays
Clinton.
the saxophone.
That's
pretty cool.
That was cool. So does the girl on The Simpsons. Donna, take 47.
She's not real, bro.
I think that's enough
Okay,
out
bye.
of you. All right, I'll talk to you pretty soon here. Oh no. EOD Kaboom saying the fridge hide and seek episode of Punky Brewster haunted my childhood.
Oh God, I remember that.
Okay, I missed that episode.
That was
Shall
a
we?
very important lesson. You know,
It was popular back
Yeah.
then for kids to get locked in fridges outside, dude, hiding.
Yeah.
And then nobody would find them until they were,
that they couldn't get out of the
asphyxiated.
refrigerator. Yeah. So there's not much oxygen in
was
those
crazy.
things. So they did an entire episode on that?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did.
Okay, I got
We
you.
were there.
It's your time. This is. I'm trying to think of now. What
We didn't
episode
carry
of what TV show was the one that screwed with my head the most? Might need a break for that one. 12 away from the top of the hour. Be right back.
Hello, Guam. The Minions and Monsters have taken over Wendy's. Get your hands on the Minions and Monsters adult meal. Choose a spicy chicken sandwich or the Big Bacon Classic with a single, double, or triple juicy beef patty. Then cool off with the new Banana Frosty Swirl. And here's the best part. Every adult meal comes with one of 4 limited edition Minions and Monsters collectible toy. But don't monkey around. These tasty treats and collectibles are only here for a limited time. Head to your nearest Wendy's today and collect them all.
Sherry Mendiola here from Security Title. Thinking about skipping title insurance to save money? It might seem like a small shortcut, but it can lead to big problems later. Hidden liens, ownership disputes, or even fraud can surface after you purchase your home, putting your investment at risk. Without title insurance, you could be responsible for costly legal fees or even lose your property. Title insurance protects your ownership and gives you peace of mind from day one. Don't take the risk. Call the professionals at Security Title. We're here to help.
Yeah, I think it was an episode of, what is it, The Twilight Zone. You remember the little kid that... He had all these powers.
Everybody was afraid of?
Yes, the little kid. What was his Anthony Fremont.
Yeah, it's scary.
He had mental powers, but he wasn't, developmentally.
Was so nice to him.
Yes, and the entire.
Piss him off.
That's right. The entire town was nice to him, and if you said something you didn't like, he'd erase your mouth so you couldn't talk anymore. And there was that one. There was the one lady. It was the one lady that finally took
She tried
him in.
to game him, right? She gamed him. Dude.
Yes, but. In the end, though, at the end, little Anthony Fremont, that was the one that messed with my head. In 10 minutes, it'll be 9 o'clock in the morning. Am I supposed to do something there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Go and point the car in the direction of Marina Grill. There were many people that were glad that it was raining so hard yesterday, so they didn't have to leave. They went there for lunch. Oh, I'm just going to stick around here and have some dessert. We started with the fried gizzards, went into the Pica Smash Burger that they've got down there, and ended up with some ribs and then hamburger steak. Hamburger steak, ladies and gentlemen. You like pizza? They can do that there, and they've got 2 die-for recipes. For the weekend, ask them about their breakfast times, the breakfast hours, and the breakfast menu at Marina Grill in Agate. Might be worth finding and putting on the TV today. I don't know. 888-822-5588 TALK is the telephone number. And speaking of, are treated for shopping cart related injuries. So think about that the next time that you were out shopping with the kids and they want to ride on the inside. And I'm sure that the similar injuries to the one that my daughter had back in the day. But I'm trying to figure out what are the other ways that we can hurt ourselves in a shopping cart. I got buddies that are watching the program on the YouTube side that are actually in the medical game and can probably retell me horror stories of people loading themselves in. To the emergency room at GRMC and Guam Memorial Hospital and some of the other clinics here. Twilight Zone gave me night terrors, says Colin Clark. Rockets and radios. Tales from the Crypt as well. Guam Under the Sea going ARG. And Dark Angel saying live stream freeze. For those of you that just tuned in, I've been struggling with that through the course of the morning. I got it for whatever reason. I think might need to reset an actual network box. I can't do it right now because if it doesn't come back to life properly, I can't restore that and be on the air at the same time. So about 10 o'clock in the morning, you might see some loss of feeds one way or the other. You may also see a variety of feeds popping up on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Those are going to be tests just for me to make sure that the things are stable. So I don't have to worry about it all weekend long. 8:53 in the morning. Who's on the phone?
It's your neighbor.
Hey, Lena. That's Will Parkinson.
Senator Will.
Incumbent Senator Will Parkinson.
Oh, that's right. He made it to the ship.
Yes, he made it to the ship, the ownership. I mean, the championship, whatever it is. Hey,
Thank you. I appreciate that. I couldn't have done it without the help of the people of Guam. So thank you to everybody out there that supported me from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you.
Well, I was going to say, I'm sorry I didn't vote for you in the primary election because obviously I voted on the Republican side. But it's possible that I might want to think about giving you one of my precious votes in the general election.
Hey, absolutely. And thank you, Ray. You know, everybody deserves to have a part in the legislature, so please let me be yours.
Well, you know what? You kind of are. We might not always agree on things, but I think that some of the ideas that I've had and talked about on the radio, you've actually introduced them at the legislature. You know, breaks on business privilege taxes for things, whether the rest of your colleagues want to pay any attention to it or not. I appreciate that you've taken some of my editorial ideas and have attempted to turn them into legislation. So thank you.
Yeah, you're very welcome. You know, I've always believed that no one side ever has a monopoly on the right answer or the truth. So, you know, you take the right answer wherever you find it.
All right. Well, before we get started with that, how's the babies?
Oh, the babies are amazing. Like my second one, who used to be a colic baby, is no longer a colic baby and is just amazing, you know, in a fierce competition for who favorite is going to be someday.
I wish you luck on that one as well. If you could do me a favor, move a little bit closer to a window or something like that. I'm getting a little bit of distortion on your voice, and it's maybe weather related, internet related. I'm not sure, but see if we can.
Oh, no, I apologize. I know what it is. I'm a pacer when I talk.
Oh,
and when I pace through the kitchen, there's a spot where it switches from my home internet or from like my home service to a different service, and it's switching networks. So okay. I got to stop pacing in the kitchen. So that's my fault.
It's good now, and thankfully it's not radiation. You touched me, and I mentioned this a little bit yesterday as I was reading bits and pieces of your editorial about we stood up before, let's stand up again, and you made reference to something that came out in 1980. And it was the Japanese government, and they wanted to get rid of some nuclear waste, and they wanted to put it in containers encased in concrete, and then dump them. And everybody says, "Okay, good idea." And they said, "Yeah, but we want to dump it around in the Marianas, up around where you guys are." And everybody said, "No, we're not going to let you do that." I actually attended the protest/hearing that took place at the legislature that year. I was a student at the University of Guam. I was taking a journalism class, and then I had an instructor who thought it might be a good idea for us to become involved. If you wanted to protest, you could. If you wanted to observe, you could. If you wanted to testify, you could. But he thought that this was a great, a great way to start thinking about ways that you can involve yourself in the community.
Yeah, and that was actually one of the things that was so fascinating about this is when I was doing my background, because, we're looking into potentially doing a substantive resolution to get the people of Guam all on the same page to say, hey, we don't want this. When I was...
Okay, I think he's back in that spot. Okay, wherever you were standing, go stand someplace else.
Stop pacing.
Hello?
Yeah,
hello?
I'm here.
Okay, sorry, somebody tried to call me. That's probably why. But the thing that really struck me is your political party, and I hope that we could all come together to oppose something like this because, if we advocate together, we have seen in the past that we can stop things like this.
Basically, we do have a say. And
have a say.
Yeah, so I'm interested to learn a little bit more about this. And I don't know if we've got all the time in the world to tell the story, just a couple of minutes, so we'll do a quick summary, if you will. Who is it? What is it that they want to dump here? Where exactly do they want to dump it?
Well, the Japanese government wants to use the Minatorishima Islands to as a dumping ground for their nuclear waste. They want to put it into these basically underground burials where they store them there for decades. But that place is potentially under sea level, and any natural disaster could cause that to become a major leak. And it's only less than 1,000 miles away from Guam. And in nautical terms and navigational terms, that's not very far at all. That's right in our neck of the woods in terms of things coming downstream on us. And the Japanese government insists that it's safe. But I mean, if it's safe, why do they got to transport it tens of thousands of miles away?
It's so safe. We're using our 1,000-pole stick to move it as far away from here as we possibly can. Noted, which is a point that was made, I think, by former Governor, the late Paul Calvo, back in 1980 when this topic first reared its head. Will, keep me posted on all of this stuff. And again, with just a few seconds away from the top of the hour, an opportunity to again thank your voters for their support.
All right, no problem. And thank you again to all the voters of Guam that gave me an opportunity in the primary. And I'm asking that if anybody's out there who believes in even a little bit of what I do, please give me a chance in the general, and I will work hard every day to be worthy of that vote. And thank you once again.
Perfect timing. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. KUSG, I got you. This is The Point.
He calls it a crackdown. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump says he's trying to limit so-called birth tourism in the U.S.
A pair of executive orders signed by the president intend to put new limits on children granted birthright citizenship.
They've taken birthright citizenship and they've made a joke out of it.
One order expands the list of categories of individuals whose children do not qualify for automatic citizenship. Another aims to clamp down on visas for foreign visitors suspected of traveling to the U.S. to have a child. A recent Supreme Court ruling blocked an executive order from President Trump that sought to deny birthright citizenship for children born to parents living in the U.S. illegally.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. A deal to regulate commercial shipping through the Strait of Hormuz appears to be close.
The agreement would give Iran control over ships entering the strait and Oman control over departing ships. The U.S. is expected to reject any demands from Iran for transit fees. There are also other flashpoints of violence threatening diplomacy. In Israel, funerals today for the 2 Israeli soldiers killed in southern Lebanon. Israeli military officials say the 2 were killed and 4 more wounded by an explosion during a building search of a suspected Hezbollah threat.
Fox's Steve Harrigan in Tel Aviv. Meanwhile, the wider conflict remains as a Saudi official says multiple intelligence reports indicate Iraqi militias working with the Houthis are preparing to attack Saudi Arabia under the guidance of Iran's Revolutionary Guard. As the Iran conflict wears on, President Trump waving off concerns the U.S. munitions stockpiles running low.
We have certain types which are very powerful and very good, and we have an unlimited supply, and so we're in great shape.
But the president did say some weapon stockpiles are higher than others. America's listening to Fox News.
Back to school starts with one important stop at the FHB Health Center. Get your child's school physical, immunizations, vision exam, and dental checkup with caring providers. Complete your child's back-to-school checkups at FHP and receive a free gift after the visit while supplies last. With one checkup, your child is ready for school, and FHB is here long after the first day of class for every stage of your child's health. Visit FHPGuam.com to request an appointment. FHP, our island, your clinic.
For all your real estate needs, call the professionals at Hoffaday Realty. Jody, Saran, Libby, and Lolita, and they'll take care of you on every step of the real estate process. No worries. Just contact Hoffaday Realty at 588-4232 or 588-HOFFA or email them at hoffadayrealty@gmail.com. They're at 426 Challenge San Antonio, Suite 204 in Tamuning. Open Monday through Friday, 10 to 4. Hoffaday Realty for all your real estate needs.
U.S. Marshals take a teen boy in Florida into custody in connection with the deaths of 2 teens found dead last week.
A 17-year-old boy was apprehended by U.S. Marshals in a small Florida town outside.
Condition that puts people at a very high risk of getting colorectal cancer at a younger age. Another AI model appears to have a mind of its own.
Facebook owner Meta says one of its artificial intelligence models went rogue during cybersecurity testing, slipped onto the internet, and hacked a third-party service. This is the 4th recent incident of its kind. Similar breaches by OpenAI and Anthropic models have raised cybersecurity concerns and prompted calls for tougher safeguards and more rigorous testing. Meta says it learned about its model's escape when it was informed by the testing company Irregular. Meta not giving out details such as which model was responsible and which company got hacked. The tech giant says it's investigating and will publish a report. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Kellogg's has announced it'll remove artificial colors from all its cereals by the end of the year, a year ahead of schedule. The company also announced it's removing the preservative BHT from any cereals that still contain it. I'm Lisa Lacera. This is Fox News.
Here's a number that should stop you cold. Right now, internet bots create more traffic on the internet than all the living humans. Online, we are the minority. I'm Kim Commando for ExpressVPN. With one click, ExpressVPN keeps your online activity private and secure. Get 4 extra months at expressvpn.com/Kim. Cloudflare, the company that guards 1/5 of the web, just rolled out its answer to bot traffic. It's called Precursor. No more clicking fire hydrants, bikes, and traffic lights and blurry photos. Instead, it watches how you move your mouse, how you scroll, your typing rhythm, even how you switch between tabs. Turns out humans have a motion fingerprint that a bot can't fake, yet. Part of me says, thank goodness, those traffic light puzzles were the worst. The other part reads the fine print. To prove you're human, a company now studies your every twitch. Privacy for convenience, one wiggle at a time. The bots took over the internet, and the humans, we're the ones taking the test. Get my newsletter, getkim.com.
AI is changing the world, and there's no question it's making technology smarter, but it's also making it easier than ever for companies to learn more about you through your online activity. Websites you visit, searches you run, and apps you use can reveal more about you than you realize. That's just one reason I use ExpressVPN. It encrypts my internet connection to help keep my personal information more secure online. Whether I'm checking email or shopping online, I know ExpressVPN is quietly working in the background. I also like how super easy it is to use. Really, one tap on my phone, laptop, desktop, or tablet, and I'm connected. Plus, one subscription now covers up to 14 devices at once. That's enough to protect your entire household. Best of all, it comes with a risk-free 30-day money-back guarantee. So take your online privacy seriously with ExpressVPN. Right now, get 4 extra months by going to expressvpn.com/Kim. That's expressvpn.com/Kim, expressvpn.com/Kim.
Got friends who still haven't switched to GTA? Now's the time to give them a nudge because you can get up to $150 just for sending them our way. Refer a friend who signs up for a single service like wireless or internet and you'll score $100. And if they go for a choice bundle, that's a cool $150 in your pocket. It's simple, it's sweet, and it pays to share. Visit GTA.net to start referring today. GTA, we start with you. Terms and conditions apply. Visit GTA.net for more information. This summer, fall in love with a new Nissan. Get into a new Sentra for as low as $172 per paycheck, the Rogue for $219 per paycheck, and the Frontier for as low as $247 per paycheck. Whether you're looking for sporty, rugged, or family-friendly, Nissan Guam has the perfect ride waiting for you. Just one test drive and you'll be saying, I love me a Nissan. See Nissan first before summer says adios. On approved credit, some conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details.
7 after 9 o'clock in the morning. It's the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point, brought to you by the guys over at APL, of course, American President Lines, a global presence with a local home, also being brought to you by the folks over at GVB. Visit Guam.com on the World Wide Web, and then search around there or just type in this address, visit Guam.com/photo hunt. Join GVB's Guam Photo Hunt. Visit featured locations, snap photos, and you could win exciting prizes. Airplane ride? Yep. Other exciting prizes? Yep. They know everybody in the restaurants and hotels down in Tumont, so my guess is they've got all kinds of cool swag that you can win in this contest. You've already got a camera on the phone, so put it to work and make yourself a winner today.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out. The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
So, outside of the monsoon surges that we experienced yesterday and likely to experience a little bit more between now and the start of a new week next week, there are a couple of features out there in the Pacific that have got my attention. There's 3 of them, in fact. There's one that's making its way. Is it my.
Oh, my God.
That's headed to, looks like it will keep us free from having to worry too much about anything more than a little bit of extra wind and rain over the next couple of days. Thank goodness. Here we are. It's the Friday Welcome to the bonus hour of the Ray Gibson Show. It is the Friday before the return back to school for lots of kids. I was going to say, but I don't know about GW and CFA. I don't know what's going to be happening with that because there's a possibility that some of the ranting and raving that I know I've been on for most of the week is having an impact out there. Senator Vince Borja calling in a little bit earlier this morning, talking about, hey, the update here on this is that CFA and GDOE maybe in response to this fiasco have decided that, you know what, maybe we ought to start thinking about looking at someplace else. Maybe this displacing the SPED students and putting them in rooms with asbestos and exposed wires and black mold, maybe that's not such a great idea given the SPED and short bus jokes that came out of the Tenorio Barnes get-together a couple of weeks before the primary election. Timing is everything. At any rate, so it's possible that they may withdraw their MOU in favor of putting their CFA students in a location other than George Washington. And the question that I have is, well, why does it have to be anywhere in the Department of Education? And what's the point of these charter schools? Is they're supposed to find their own facilities and arrange for the rental and any of the Home Depot runs that you got to do for paint and bathroom stuff, et cetera. That's all on you. That shouldn't be on DOE. And putting any kind of crimps on their style, if you will. And then we spoke with Bob Koss from the Guam Federation of Teachers, if they're still called the Guam Federation of Teachers. I'm wondering if they might have changed the brand up to just GFT in favor of being union guys for other than just teachers in the government of Guam. At any rate, that's an aside. We spoke to him, and he had some very specific issues with what's going on with, again, this fiasco. And their legal people are looking at it because it does affect and impact the teachers that they have in their membership. From GW. And so they're looking at it saying there's a process, there's a procedure that should have occurred. It didn't. And so maybe writ, maybe some kind of injunction. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. We'll leave that to him and his legal team. Also, he said, Bob Koss said, that noted attorney Dan Summerfleck may also have a couple of things up his sleeve that would put some sanity and common sense back on this thing and prevent any further damage to the routine and the efforts that the teachers in that quad area GW do for special ed, ESL students, et cetera. So it ain't over. The fat lady hasn't sung yet. Fat lady has not sung, but
so they're going to involve the judiciary.
We need to bring in the judiciary. We'll need a man or a woman in a black robe to look over the plain language of the Guam Code, annotate it, and see if everything was done correctly and to the specs. And if it wasn't, then by golly, maybe there is a leg to stand on here, and maybe we don't have to worry so much about whether or not that's going to happen over at JFK. GW. JFK's next. No, they've already had to suffer, a couple of years of split campuses with Tiedzen? Well, that's going to be weird going in. But the other point that I wanted to make here is that here we are, friends, at the end of the summer of 2026. Was it everything that you wanted it to be, or did you just feel like, wow, this was kind of cramped up? We started the summer of 2026 recovering from the wrath of Sinlaku, because we didn't actually get wrath down here. We got heavy seas and a lot of wind, but a bunch of places lost power for a few days. But other than that, we didn't do so bad. But we still had to, recover because we're resilient people from all of that. And seemingly as we were recovering from that, then it gets to be July, and around the start of July, concerns about whether or not we were going to get smacked by Bavi. We did not get smacked by Bavi. Rhoda this time got smacked by Bavi, but there was enough damage from Bavi to cause for a couple more days of electric outage over at my house, and then the recovery that we all had to do from that. And then we didn't have the liberation festivities, no parade, no carnival, none of that stuff. But and now just look at the calendar. There it is, August the 7th here now, and then it's going to be August, September. I was on my way home, and the truck said, "Let's go to KFC." So I pull in over there, get my 3-piece meal, and the lady at the front, like I said, they know me there. I'm a familiar voice in their headsets, and it's not from this. And the lady says, "Oh, no chicken pot pie tonight, sir?" "No, that's okay, ma'am. Maybe next time," because it's already the 3-piece, and.
She didn't say, "Are you okay, sir?"
Is
You're
everything
not
all right?
Yourself.
Is everything all right?
Are you under duress?
But notwithstanding burn months, et cetera, there's but it is still the end of the summer of 2026. As I keep trying to start the conversation, and I demand that you take your kids out there and do something fun. It'll end up being expensive, but what the hell? Put it down to back to school costs. Maybe there's a Spider-Man movie that they want to go watch over at the mall. Maybe they want to go and goof off at the Micronesia Mall somewhere, ride the train if they're little ones, or maybe they're big kids and they can go up to the arcade that they've got on the second floor. Beautiful place. Yeah. Oh, there's a little kid spot next to that one, right? Place to keep the kids occupied.
And you don't need quarters.
You don't need quarters. Do they have at that one? I remember going in, but was quickly overwhelmed by the sound in the crowd. But did they have at the mall the Pop-A-Shot?
I don't know.
The little basketball.
Maybe.
Mini basketball. Did they have that there?
They had a few different versions of basketball.
Right.
For sure.
Okay, so did you know that there is a Pop-A-Shot national championship?
No.
There is.
What's the prize money?
I don't know what the prize money is. But this is something we need to talk about.
Smoke everybody.
Wait, quick, who's on the phone?
Oh, Amir Lazama. Robert Lazama.
Hey, Lana from the
he's the director now.
Park and Rec.
He used to be a sergeant in the police department, or he's had many responsibilities.
Officer Sarge, it's Ray Gibson here. How you doing?
All right. Good morning, Ray.
How you been? It's been a long time since I interviewed you. I think the last time I interviewed you because you were mayor of Zigotown.
Oh, yeah, that's quite. But it was also nice meeting up with you at was that Bowls and Barrel or that one medical fundraising that we met at?
Yeah, Beans and Barrels.
Beans and Barrels. Yeah, that's right. That was the last time we spoke briefly, but yes, indeed.
Yeah, but it might be there again today. So it's a nice place. They got, you know what they have there, and it's not just for Father's. I'm sorry, it's in my head, so it's got to come out. Starting, I think at 11 o'clock on Sundays, they have a brunch. And it's like $35.
Matter of fact,
go ahead.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Matter of fact, I did also run into one of the co-owners at a function over at Capitol Kitchen, and he had mentioned that he was part owner with, the establishment, and they do have the Sunday brunch. Yep. Yes, definitely. So we're going to try that out. Of course, my wife is aware as much as, going down there. Mm-hmm. We have to pass like 4 breakfast restaurants before we get there, but definitely we're gonna make it one day.
All right. Well, speaking of police, my buddy Matt is telling me just got clipped by a GPD speed trap at Aspen Beach Park southbound. 53 and a 35. 2 more commuters were snagged as I was making my way out. GPD officers said they will be there for the next 2 weeks. Got it. So if you know, you know. So you got to deal with that too. Hey, so you're now acting administrator at Parks and Rec, correct?
The acting appointed director, yes, by the governor, yes. Since June 1st, matter of fact, yeah.
Okay, so you were there at the beginning of the pronouncement, I think, that there was a water leak to the tune of $1,000 a day at EPAL Beach Park, correct?
It was brought to my attention at the oversight hearing that we had at the legislature about a week after I was first appointed. And, of course, to my surprise that, the money that it costs, of course, to pay for the bill was, quite steep, on a monthly basis. And I immediately organized a meeting to get to the bottom of this. And, I've been there prior. Of course, my first tour as the director of Parks and Rec was under the Calvo administration back in 2015, 2016.
Okay.
And, water leaks weren't, or the bills weren't, that steep. But, over time, we're talking about, old water pipes, galvanized pipes, and I have to say that we really appreciate the help of GWA Engineering. Their people came out, with their own, detector to help identify where these leaks are, because they are just as much concerned.
Oh yeah.
That we're kind of like spending a lot of money on this leak. So we've been meeting GVB as well as neighbors to the park. The deputy director, the valve, and then when it's closed, then we shut the gate, then we shut off the valve overnight. So that's the immediate solution. And then, of course, it's going to be worked out in 3 phases. And we have 3 companies respond to our scope of work to try and get this resolved. And, of course, we thought it's going to cost, something that we can afford. Doing it below $25,000, but with the monies, or rather the scope of work cost, it's going to cost.
But you have to. I mean, the savings, the savings from not having to spend $1,000 a day for this leak, I think that in and of itself is sufficient enough to justify the expense to, number one, put that shutoff valve in there, and number two, go and find the various leaks and either fix them. I don't know if that's a good idea as much as just figure out where we need to dig some new pipes and put them make the new connections.
Yeah, so definitely the plan after discussing this, of course, with our SHPO's office as well, where Patrick Lohan, we're all engaged in trying to find ways to try and do this without having to disturb the grounds by digging. So we are working on not having to not deal with the actual repairs of the old pipes and digging up the ground. So what we plan to do is work along the bullards and replace the pipes with new ones and just go from there. So these are all in the planning, and we hope to see this thing resolved.
It's going to be faster than you're going to do that faster than the swimming pool, though, right? I mean, that's 4,000 days already for the Agana swimming pool. You can update me if you will on when we're expecting the ribbon cutting on the new and improved Agana Shopping Center swimming pool. But the thing with EPAL Beach Park, correct me if I'm wrong, the only thing that we have to worry about is 2 bathrooms and 2 or 3 showers, right?
That's correct. Exactly, and of course the 3 showers that's along the shoreline there, but for the beach users for washing themselves down after the being there at the beach, and of course the 2 restrooms and also the sink that's on the small pavilions. There are.
I didn't know if those. I didn't know if all of those worked. Okay, so there is a network of piping underneath that, and somewhere along the way is all of these leaks. Maybe I ought to use that as an excuse there, Migo. I don't know if you plan to be there in the next administration, whoever it is, but maybe there ought to be a plan for the new and improved EPAL Beach Park area with new pavilions and shelters and new shower facilities and new bathroom facilities down there. I think that'd be a grand idea to pursue.
Well, of course, we are having to deal also with the damage from the main pavilion. Did sustain some, damage on the one of the walls there.
Yep.
So of course, it's still usable, but then we also need to repair that. That's a result of some locus damage. Of the park.
No, not as bad as places like Taragi and that. I remember when Taragi was like the southern version of EPAL Beach Park. It was so beautiful there. It got a lot of green space and some incredible pavilions, and it's all Mitsuling out there and places like that. Hopefully, we'll be able to recover and maybe get some FEMA money to help out with some of these things. So, how long do you anticipate that you're going to still be paying $30,000 a month bills to Miguel Berdallo and GWA?
Well, no, definitely. When we matter of fact, next week we're supposed to be already working on with SHPO to go out there and dig down so that we can be able to get to the pipe that's going to be able to we're able to have a shut-off valve there with the support of Waterworks as well.
Yeah.
In making this happen. So once we get that shut-off valve in place, then we're going to be shutting off daily until otherwise we do get the new piping, late and servicing the water. The restrooms and the showers. Yeah.
Acting Director Bob Lizama from the Department of Parks and Recreation. I appreciate the update on that, and I'm also curious about something else. We've got the SHPO, and so we've got this layer of bureaucracy to protect the Epal Beach Park area. Unfortunately, I think there's more that needs to get done, and so we need to put the bollards back up there because now people drive all over the yard, basically. I mean, there's a road now from the parking lot to the main pavilion that has been cut into the grass. That grass, again, take years for that grass to recover over there. And now people just, they go, and even though the sign says no cars past this point, they're driving to whatever pavilion. They sleep there in the middle of the night.
On Hilton side, those gates are not, they're not allowed to be going in there. We do have,
but there's no bollards. They might as well not have the gates. They don't do anything.
You're right, and of course that's because again wear and tear, damage, rust, and all that. So those are all going to be, in place and replaced as a result of the coverage with Senlaku, the damages. So those have to be removed because of the road damage, and in order for no one to get hurt, they have to remove them because of those wires and cable wires that are used to support.
Just go to Pangolinan Pole Factory and just get some poles and drag them down there and just put a lineup on both sides. and when you repair the gate, put the gate over by not by DFS, put the gate over by GVB so that when you close the park is closed. As opposed to, we got that whole open parking area, and you got guys in there. They take their pizza boxes and their beer cases, and they go down there and they drink, and they don't take their trash out. And I think the only way to get around that is securing the park even more. I'm a park user. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a park user, and it just annoys me to hell that there's so many people like you and your people that are trying to enforce the rules, and they don't care if there's no cops around, if there's no park rangers around, if there's no GVB guys around. It's let all hell break loose there in the middle of the night. One last thing for you, Mayor Bob, if you don't mind.
No problem.
What's the new expected opening date for the Agana swimming pool?
Well, I can tell you this much: it was just last week that we finally received the change order or the scope of work estimate from the company because of that whole damaged pipe that services the pump that was identified, which was a delay. So we finally got that, and then of course it's securing. Now we do have the funding identified, so that we can be able to cover the additional cost, so that we can repair that pipe. For the meantime, all other areas of construction is still
proceeding,
still happening, and we hope to see something realized. I can't give you an exact date because it's having to order now that specialized or that pipe that is needed in order to service the swimming pool from the pump. So that's where that delay has caused. When they came upon, why is it that they drain out the swimming pool, the next day there's water and there's no rain. So that's how it was determined that
there was damage on the other. So 2026 or 2027?
I'm certain that we can get a better answer once we get this change order moving. Now that we got that from the contractor, so I would definitely I'll get back to you once I have a better answer.
Because you're going to be there till January at least, right?
Yes, of course. And of course, not a problem. I'm there to. Otherwise, the governor says, "Let's go."
Okay, amigo. Nice to hear from you. Now we got your number. We're going to bug you all the time. Okay.
Hey, never a problem. You're free to give me a call.
All right, right on. Thanks, Mayor. I appreciate it. Bob Lizama from the Acting Director of the Department of Parks and Recreation. The answer is yes, there is still $1,000 a day water bill with the Epal Beach Park area, the Governor Joseph Flores Memorial Park area. But they are going to do some mitigation on it. They're going to turn it off when they close the park. Somebody will go and, like at your house, there's a cutoff valve. right? So they're going to cut off the water at the end of the day when the park is all closed up, and then after that in the morning when they open the park, they'll redo the thing. So I guess what's that? They're going to end up being about 10 hours worth of leak. Until they now start going in there and digging up the pipes that are underground and replacing them with new, I don't know, state-of-the-art 2026-27 Home Depot. As opposed to Island Equipment. Maybe that was where they got them back in the olden days, and they've sprung leaks. That might be the good news out there. Earlier, I was talking to Real Joe, who knows all kinds of things about bar sports. There used to be a place in, was it the Boardroom? Route 8. Route 8 was the place. There's an apartment complex up there now. But back in the old place, it was the Father Duenas Class of 1985 hangout. I was honorary, and I think it was the Boardroom was the name of it. I might be wrong. It was Joey's place. And two things they had that kept me coming back. One of them was Michelob Dry. Came in a long neck bottle. And this was back when Budweiser, all the Budweiser products came in a little stubby. But the
Magic Johnson.
But I got to be kind of okay at it. And I, it was like I said, a hell of a diversion. And so it's something that should be. I know that they had them at Game Works back in the day. I believe they likewise had a whole bunch of them over at Chuck E. Cheese. So it would not surprise me if we might find one or two of these Papa Shots in places like the new arcade at the Micronesia Mall, the new place they've got over at the village of Donkey. And what do you do with those Papa Shot skills? There is a Papa Shot National Championship. And a guy named Nick DeMarini was watching it in 2024 and asked to himself, why not me? De Marinis is now set to compete in the Arcade Basketball Games National Championship tomorrow in Orlando, in Florida. It will air...
The Free State.
It will air on ESPN 8, The Ocho. You remember?
We got to see that, dude. Is it going to be in Spanish?
I don't know. Tell me we can watch this at Moses, right? So it'll be right after lawnmower racing and cornhole on ESPN 8. He lost some qualifiers in Atlanta and New York, but punched his ticket to the championship at another event in Portland, Oregon. And he says, I keep doing crazy blank like this to keep me young. And so I wonder now. If we can get with the Shippo at some point, who is also the guy at GSPN, and maybe see if we can find a whole bunch of these things, and then I'm sure there's a route that we could get, maybe some kind of a challenge, a bar thing, have Budweiser go out there. Brought to you by Michelob Ultra, another sport for Michelob Ultra guys, and we'll just have a couple of Papa Shots out there and have guys go and do Papa Shot competitions here, there, and everywhere, and we'll see if we can get a champion from Guam to go and represent us. Maybe not this year, obviously, but maybe at next year's Papa Shot National Championship, wherever that's going to be held at. There is still time for us, ladies and gentlemen, to put together a plan to excel, to bring glory to Guam, to bring positive attention to Guam, something that we can be known for besides the military and brown tree snakes. Do you know what I mean? Fanogi tomorrow. Fanogi. It's 9:36, and we're going to Finogi our way into news and headlines with KUAM TV. I'll be back on the other side.
Buenas and half a day, Guam. I'm Jennigan Charfus. Here's a look at 3 stories you need to know for Friday, August 7th. The Guam Election Commission may have to do a recount of the senatorial race for the 15th and 16th place under the Republican ticket that will decide who will advance and who will be eliminated. It's a reminder that the race isn't over yet until all ballots are counted and officially certified. Atsuki Hirayama has a look of how the November general election field is shaping up. You can watch that story right now on our KUAM News YouTube channel. The Guam Police Department is asking for the public's help in locating a woman wanted for questioning in an ongoing identity theft investigation. Police are looking for 43-year-old Desiree Lynn Mateo Bautista of Asen. She's described as 5 feet tall, approximately 150 pounds with black hair, brown eyes, and a light complexion. Investigators say Bautista is believed to be avoiding authorities and may flee if spotted. She was last seen driving a gray Kia Forte with license plate number DE 4612. It is known to frequent areas in Assen, Agate, and Tamuning. Anyone who sees Bautista is asked not to approach her and to immediately contact GPD Dispatch at 475-8615, 8616, or 8617, or the Juvenile Investigation Section at 475-8554. And the Guam Police Department is also investigating a burglary at Finagayan Elementary School after several classrooms were broken into. Police say the incident was reported on Wednesday around 6:21 a.m. Officers responding to the school found multiple classrooms with damaged windows and doors as the investigation got underway. Authorities have not released information on what may have been taken, if anything, and the investigation remains ongoing. Anyone with information about the burglary is urged to contact GPD Dispatch through 475-8615 through 8617 or submit an anonymous tip to the Guam Crime Stoppers. For more, log on to KUAM.com. And for the latest updates, follow KUAM News on Instagram. Jonagan Charfus, KUAM News.
With the United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank, your everyday spend can take you places. Your morning coffee, your shopping list, your gas fill-up, they can all earn United Mileage Plus miles towards your next adventure. It could be groceries today and a trip tomorrow. Apply by October 31st, 2026, and if approved, earn 45,000 bonus miles when you spend $2,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. To turn your everyday purchases into endless adventures, it all starts with yes. Terms and conditions apply. To learn more, visit one of our branches or go to fhb.com/United.
I got it. It's 9:39, and portions of the broadcast made possible by our friends over at Take Care. Take Care. I love this. I got some pictures forwarded to me, and I'm going to assume that he forwarded them to me so that I could put them on the air. These dogs in a Ganya, that will be all right. I don't know which of the grandbabies this is. There, Livia Gutierrez Stahl, who is attending James Madison University in Virginia, in Washington, D.C., in front of the National Military Monument. Love this picture. And in the background, you can see that at that moment, the National Military Monument is paying tribute to a veteran named Carl Gutierrez. And I love this. This is such a great shot and a reminder about, you know what, thank you very much for your service.
That's super cool.
Best governor ever, period. A very cool location, number one. And there's all kinds of other stuff that goes on. There's a thing, a big wall with the images of the American flag and the stars. And there's some more pictures of the monument with Uncle Carl's name on it. Thank you very much. And a view, I think this is the view from the Lincoln Memorial, if I'm not too far off. Yeah. And you've got the long view from the stairs at the Lincoln Memorial down the mall, leading up to the Washington Monument at the end of Monument Valley that they've got there in Washington, D.C. I think that's very, very cool. Thank you very much for setting that up. Somebody asking, Ray, what is the name of the lady that is doing the veterans, helping veterans? Her name is Terry, Terri, Guevara Smith, and you can find her on Facebook. You can also, I wrote down the number. Wait, yeah, I've got it. Thank you very much.
There you go.
It's 301-675-8518. Now, she gave me a difficult to remember email address, so I'm just going to leave you with the WhatsApp number if you want to get hooked up. My dad's brother, second generation veteran in the Navy, Carl Gutierrez, a veteran of the United States Air Force. Again, 301-675-8518 is the phone number there. 888-8255-888-TALK is the telephone number. What's that? Good morning, Ray. Senior Chief Sylvan Tudela is a Navy veteran of 26 years. Nice to know about all of that stuff. Everybody needs to get their stories taken care of. There was a guy that was out here years ago, maybe 20 years ago, and I did an interview with him, similar to the one that I did with Ms. Guevara Smith this morning. And it wasn't why he was here, but it was one of the things that he did while he was here, was that he was looking for veterans. In this case, I think he was looking specifically for a lot of Vietnam-era veterans. Wanted to find out about some of their adventures, misadventures, and what it was that got them into the service during the Vietnam years. There were people people, obviously, that were drafted for service in the Vietnam era, but there were a lot of people that volunteered for service in the Vietnam War. And can you imagine the stories that came out of that? I'm sure it would make even the most adventurous of the Nam Year movies sound like it's just kind of run of the mill. And 9:43 on the Ray Gibson Show, 888-825-5888-TALK. Josh Canahay says, speaking of being proud of pride of the islands, don't miss the American Ninja Warriors National Championships featuring homegrown Darren Perez and Rye Flores competing at the finals for the championship on Monday stateside time. All right, that's something worth noting. Who do we need to talk to about making sure that we're reminded about that? Can you write it down, Joe?
What's going on?
American Ninja Warriors National Championship.
The ninja.
Yes. That's
I
going
want
to
to be ninja.
Yes. Okay. So
I'll check the Ninja Warrior
I'll
guy.
try.
Follow him.
You do, right?
Yeah.
I think we both do. Darren Perez, Rye Flores are the ones that are putting all of this stuff together.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we get known for a lot of stuff. Guam's got a reputation of one kind or another, whether you like it or not. And more often than not, it has to do with the brown tree snakes. Like that's the only thing that we've got going for Guam. But there's other things that I think that we should be known for. I would like to be known for the intelligence of our school kids. We talk about sending them off to tennis tournaments and dance competitions and things like that. That's cool. But I would like to, I'd like to, for us to be able to distinguish ourselves. I think that needs to be somebody's quest in this upcoming administration. Whoever is the winner is there needs to be, the same way that we look at all these championships. We need to bring back something like the Academic Challenge Bowl. And if I was the guy, if I was going to bring back the Academic Challenge Bowl, I'd put money in it. I'd make it like Jeopardy or something like that. I'd make it so that these kids, they get out there and we're not just playing for the pride of our school or for a trophy or something like that. We're playing for pink slips.
There you go.
We're playing for money here.
In for pinks.
Yes.
Full ride scholarships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not? And why not? Why not? Because if you do something like that, then the parents might be a little bit more inclined to pay attention to what their kids are doing in school. And paper with an award on it of one kind or another. Mom and Dad got $500. Ka-ching.
No,
better believe.
Strict parents.
Better believe, yeah. Not just the Dragon Moms either. It's not just
parents.
the Dragon Moms. It'll be everybody else. 888-825-5888-TALK. I think we just covered just about everything here. That I remember starting the week with some questions in my head, and I think I've got many of them answered. So it wasn't clear from the answer that he gave, but apparently there's a change order on the Agana swimming pool, and it's going to require a little bit more chipping into concrete, maybe some heavier digging, and they got to get to a pipe that has apparently failed between the pump and the actual swimming pool. And until that gets sorted out, we're probably not going to be having any ribbon cuttings for the Agana swimming pool. So I guess the Josh and Tina swimming pool party is going to be off. Will it be a Teresa and Sabina swimming pool party?
Here we go.
Will it be a Tony and EJ swimming pool party? Or will that be? Oh my God! Just the
pool
thought
party, dude! I'm getting excited.
Will that be the first of the highlights of the next gubernatorial administration? Is that going to be what we're going to be looking for here? What's going to be the high water mark? Somebody else brought up a point yesterday in the social medias that I missed, and that is, what it's time for, Real Joe?
Time is it for?
It's time to come up with a new mural design for the Nieves Flores Memorial Library. Yes. We should wait until after inauguration before we go in there with a coat of Kills white paint from top to bottom and use that as a platform for the next Nieves Flores Memorial Library mural. I think it's time to start thinking about what that's going to look like. Obviously, we don't know who's going to be the central figures in it. Will it be Therese Terlai or will it be Tony Ada with EJ with the basketball?
Now it's not going to happen. It should be.
Did I just call the devil?
Florist. It should be a florist up there.
I don't.
A library.
I don't know.
People.
There's plenty of things that we might be able to,
putting
Tony
their finger up
reading
to
the
her
book.
mouth saying, shh.
Reading the book, how to embalm a body. If we can't get a pool ready for years, you think the new hospital will be easier? Jay, I'll bet you in the 151 days that there is left in this administration, I don't necessarily want to frame it that way, but in the 151 days before the next inauguration of a new administration, I don't know if there's anything else that can possibly happen that will contribute to the finality of a deal to put a new hospital facility and medical complex up on Route 15. There's so many moving parts to all of this, not the least of which is going to be going out and getting some money. How are we going to get the $1 billion worth of funding to get all of this done? And there's still questions about the infrastructure. Again, what was the deal? We've got shovel-ready projects at GWA, but we don't have shovel-ready products at GPA. So even though there is money there, will they be able to encumber it to do anything else with the inventory, with the infrastructure? So we might be able to get water infrastructure up there to deal with it, and that'll be great for the people that live there that might be having some water woes right about now. But I don't know that the same can be said for power, and it just doesn't seem to me. I mean, as you're adequately pointing out here, if we can't get the swimming pool taken care of in 4,175 days, that's an approximation. I might have missed a couple of days in the count, but I would think that that's still fairly accurate. 4,175 days. Divide that by 365, and we'll come up with how many years, how much longer is it going to take for them to sort out the design, build, procurement of a multi-million-dollar facility. Interesting question, and for which I don't think we're going to get an answer in 151 days. So we better take good care of Guam Memorial Hospital. That was the other question that I think we got something like an answer to. There was an emergency meeting, and apparently the emergency had to do with the timing of travel for people on GMH board. That they needed to be aware of and make a decision in an executive committee on yesterday. Nobody that I'm aware of is being sued. We talked to Senator Sabrina Salas-Matanani, who was re-elected. And she found out about the meeting, talked to people that were in the meeting. The GMH is not being sued. There's no problem with the electrical panel. That's good news. But it does have. She could neither confirm or deny that it had something to do with CMS. And when I brought up CMS, there were long pause of surrounds and shrouds, as shrouds will. that particular issue. We'll learn what we can down the road. Studio time is 9:52. I'm going to grab one last break, and Joe's going to kill the next 8 minutes.
Hello, Guam. The Minions and Monsters have taken over Wendy's. Get your hands on the Minions and Monsters adult meal. Choose a spicy chicken sandwich or the Big Bacon Classic with a single, double, or triple juicy beef patty. Then cool off with the new Banana Frosty Swirl. And here's the best part. Every adult meal comes with one of 4 limited edition Minions and Monsters collectible toy. But don't monkey around. These tasty treats and collectibles are only here for a limited time. Head to your nearest Wendy's today and collect them all.
Fall in love with a new Nissan. Get into a new Sentra for as low as $172 per paycheck, the Rogue for $219 per paycheck, and the Frontier for as low as $247 per paycheck. Whether you're looking for sporty, rugged, or family-friendly, Nissan Guam has the perfect ride waiting for you. Just one test drive and you'll be saying, I love me a Nissan. See Nissan first before summer says adios. On approved credit, some conditions apply. See Nissan Guam for details.
Brand new menu waiting for you at CPK. That's California Pizza Kitchen. You know, there's fresh is on the menu all the time, and they got some fresh menu items that I want you to try. If you like seafood, and we're all on Guam, I think we all stay here because we do like seafood, and we got pretty decent access to it. They've got this a bunch of new items on the menu that feature ahi poke. And they've even got these new seafood tacos in them as well. So it's worth the trip to the nearest CPK. Got one in Agana, got one in Tumon. Find out what's on the new menu and find some new favorites. Old favorites are there as well, but make some new ones today at CPK. Wow, 9:55. I haven't talked about AI yet today, have I? I didn't do any AI nonsense?
I don't think so.
There's some interesting things. You gotta listen to the Kim Commandos and sign up for her newsletters. I know I sound like she does on the program on Sundays, but sign up for her newsletters. She's got one there now that talks a lot about how to use AI in your life. And I didn't print it out. I don't think I printed it out, but I did read it this morning, and I didn't see anything in there that I'm going, ooh, wow, I better put this because it's AI, and I need this on my Apple, or I need this on my Windows or whatever. But they did, at the end of it, had a little thing. It's a blurb. I'm sure she's going to make a couple of bucks off of it. But there is, and I bought one, Joe. First thing I spent money on this morning. It's like $18. It's like super cheap. Add $10 for shipping and maybe get a couple of deals out to Guam. But it's a label maker.
Oh.
It's a label maker.
Label maker.
Yes, and I'm a boy. And you know what boys like to do? Label things.
Oh boy.
Label things. You go to my house after I got a label maker. There's a label maker on everything. It's you know
Is
what?
That why it says door handle on your car door?
Right there. Drawer A, underwear. Drawer B,
steering wheel,
running shorts. Not like I can remember all of that stuff. Everything is labeled and organized. And my forks go here, knives go here. And so it's like $16, bro. It's like a $16 electronic. Well, so here's the thing. So it's the you put the roll in the printer thing, and it all stands by itself. And then it's got an app. You make the deals. You put the deals together on the app. And yes.
Yeah, it's all computers now, huh?
Yeah, stand by. I'm going to see if I can get a link to it. I'll put it up on
the past, man. That did like the kind of raised letters.
Oh,
on
the Dymos.
Yeah.
God, yes. God bless the Dymos.
I can still see it.
Yeah. So, and I've got more than one or two of these things at the house. Yeah, I bought there's a set, you can buy it in a set for like $30 that it comes with a carrying case and an extra tape. So I've got that thing. I'm trying to click on it so I can get to place it on the online. It's not letting me do it from the page that I'm on. Just do it. It's the Nelco, Nelko P21 label maker machine with tape, Bluetooth label printer, and they come in a bunch of different colors, perfect for schools, teacher supplies, office, and home, etc. $16.71 right now. So if you got nothing else to do, if money's burning a hole in your pocket, and you're just going, the guy on the radio said to buy it. So I bought it. Sorry, Mom. For back to school. You can use it for back to school. Anyway, where was I headed? There was acted beyond testing parameters in 10 out of 122 runs with Anthropic's model, Mythos 5. You remember we talked about Mythos 1? Mythos was the one that they started messing around with it and realized they needed to shut this thing down and claw back every copy they could find of it because it actually was able to break out of its sandbox. Anyway, the Anthropic's model involved in 17 of those cases. One alarming occurrence involved an agent attempting to insert malicious code into an open source project. And that's why there's a lot of people that like open source projects because of the semi-secure nature of them kind of to begin with. And now all of a sudden it might be one of those things where you've got these kind of to begin with. And now all of a sudden it might be one of those things where you've got these AIs that are saying, you know what, I'm going to put myself in here and infest all of these Linux machines because everybody brags about how secure they're. You know why they're secure? Because nobody uses Linux. I'm trying to trigger a Linux buddy of mine on one of the socials. I got to get out of here. It's 10 o'clock in the morning, and to get a Lupang 671. I see what you're saying, and we might continue that conversation on Monday. In the meantime, it's 10 and time for Fox News on the point. See you Monday.
Planned it for weeks. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. That's what detectives in Spokane, Washington are saying about the suspect in the city's most destructive wildfire.